Louisiana in a key SWAC matchup. It's the Jaguars of Southern University playing host to the Arkansas Pine-Bluff Golden Lions. They say the road to the SWAC title goes through Southern, a place with a new $1 million facelift and sporting a new logo, and yet the old attitude remains, and that is of winning. Hello, everybody. I am George Johnson. Well, it seemed that last year, same time, here on BET, these two teams met in a game of clubs going in opposite directions. Southern University would lose that ball game. They would lose 4 of their first 5 games, pretty much be out of the race for the SWAC title. As for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, they would win 3 of their first 4. They were in position, but neither team came home with the title. And yet it was this game that remains vivid in their minds. So you got one club looking for revenge, the other looking to prove that last year was no fluke. Last week, it was Arkansas Pine-Bluff who would spot Mississippi Valley State, a 9-3 halftime lead. The defense steps it up. They win that one 19-9. As for Southern, Southern got beat last week by Northwestern State, another club that is from the state of Louisiana, a game that really hurt their chances of getting off on a good start. I'm going to have an easy job up here because I've got 2 capable veterans helping me with this broadcast. First, I want to introduce you to the former quarterback of the Syracuse Orangemen, who spent 7 years in the National Football League, and Don McPherson. And Don, when we talk about Southern, this is a club with high expectations because they return a lot of veterans, but they lost maybe their most important player in Michael Hayes last week because of injury.
Yes, Georgia, the loss of Michael Hayes could be the biggest loss in the entire conference. It happened in the second half last week against Northwestern State, and now a torn ACL keeps the preseason SWAC Player of the Year on the sideline for the remainder of the season. That puts a tremendous amount of pressure on this young man, Terrence Levy, who has to step up the run game that was lacking last week. It also means he's going to have to spread the ball around to a myriad of great receivers, including this man right here, Devin Lewis. His job is going to be to pick up the slack for lacking Michael Hayes.
Yeah, I figured that a quarterback would talk about offense, but we also got to concentrate on the defense of Southern, because last year Arkansas Pine-Bluff rushed for 385 yards against this club. So that means the front 7 got a lot of pressure on them, and they're led by Michael Landry.
And Michael Landry is a speed guy. He likes to come off the corner. He's a gifted athlete, like I said, who likes to come off the corner in the pass rush, but he has a big task because last year Arkansas Pine-Bluff held the ball for nearly 40 minutes in this ball game.
You know, we're not going to do this all by ourselves. We got the big guy coming back with us. That's right, the former Dallas All-Pro offensive lineman, and Nate Newton also joining us in the booth. And Nate, he talked about that running game of Arkansas Pine-Bluff, putting the big yards on the field against Southern. They've got 2 running backs that rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, and Dwight McKissick and Ron Johnson. Johnson had 120 last week against Mississippi Valley State.
Here you see McKissick. They call him Thunder. He likes to run tough. He gets between the tackles and he make things happen. He will look for some punishment sometime, but he can't take it to distance. And here's Ron Johnson, lightning. He's a slasher. He moves. He's real smooth, and he likes to get into open field. But you know, the big secret is this offensive line. They're over 300 pounds, and they're led by right tackle Charles Ray. He's real smooth, and he got some dog in it.
Make no mistake about it. Ray is going to be key. Yeah, make no mistake about it. The big guy's going to have to play big. But also the defense of Arkansas Pine-Bluff going to have to come up large, especially that secondary. Last week, Terrence Levy threw the ball 47 times. So they're going to be tested, including guys like Dante Wesley.
Dante Wesley is the type of guy that the pros look at. He's a big guy, running 4.3 40, very athletic, and can make things happen. If they put the ball up that many times, Dante Wesley will have him a few.
Well, Pete Richardson, in his 8th season with Southern, the club was 6-5 last year. That, of course, not good enough for the 4-time SWAC Coach of the Year, who led his team to the first ever SWAC championship 2 years ago. He wants to get back, but he knows in order to do so, he's going to have to come up with a victory tonight against the Golden Lions. Looking for revenge here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Today's Black College Football Classic is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines celebrates 30 years of freedom. 30 years, one nation, low fares. And by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer.
Graduated from this university back in 1972 and led the Golden Lions to his first win over Southern last year. Sure would love to do it back-to-back. This school has not gotten back-to-back wins over Southern since the 60s. So it's been quite some time. As Southern kicking off, Bobby Jett is deep to receive the kick. Going to take it. at about the 8-yard line. Work his way outside and finally dragged down, but not until he crosses the 30-yard line out to about the 31-yard line. A return of 24 yards, and that is where the Golden Lions will take over 1st and 10.
George, you can already see that mud. Look at the mud on Jet's legs. That's letting you know what kind of surface these guys are playing on tonight.
LaKendrick Powell will be your starting quarterback, number 8 for the Golden Lions. He is the junior college transfer from Delta Community College. And he's got that I formation behind him. They're going to try the inside of that line first and foremost, and that's Ron Johnson taking the handoff. Again, Ron with 120 yards rushing last week. As you see, LaKendrick Powell in a heated battle for the starting position with Roger Lynn and Fred Leonard, and he won out. As you look at the Budweiser starting lineups, Ron Johnson is your running back, Quincy Lee your fullback, Williams and Hayes, your wide receivers. The offensive line, big, strong, averaging over 300 pounds, and can move a defensive front. I formation again. Johnson, your deep back. Going to take the handoff. And this time, Southern relinquishes a couple of yards. As you take a look at our McDonald starting lineups, brought to you, actually our Budweiser starting lineups, brought to you by Budweiser with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. Dorsey, Smith, Blatcher, and Landry are your defensive front. Chris Cooper, your newcomer of the week in the SWAC after a tremendous ball game last week. Lenny Williams is a tough cornerback. Good man-to-man cover guy for Southern on 3rd down, and whistles all over the place. And already penalties against Arkansas Pine-Bluff, who tried the inside of that defensive front and couldn't move the ball. And now it looks like we've got a timeout on the field. And Arkansas Pine-Bluff calls timeout. And interesting to see them take a timeout so early in the ball game.
Yeah, you wonder why you'd waste a timeout at this point. They've had limited success, but exactly what we've expected to happen. We've expected Arkansas Pine-Bluff to come out, trying to stuff the football in the middle. Nothing's happening right now. Maybe they're starting to gather to see what changes they may have to make in their attack.
So while Arkansas Pine-Bluff decides on what to do on 3rd down, we take this quick timeout. George Johnson along with Don McPherson, Nate Newton, 3rd down and 7. Arkansas Pine-Bluff's first possession of the football game. Single set back is Johnson behind Powell. Looking over the middle. Pass was knocked away, was intended for Philip Dooling.
Had ample protection, had nice protection by the offensive line. You know they're not going to throw it a lot of times. It's going to have to be 3rd and long and some hard yardage to make for them not to run the ball.
An outstanding play by number 48, Herman Hartman there, the strong safety coming up and knocking that ball away at the last minute.
So Aaron Wall will punt. Ezra Landry is standing back at his own 20-yard line. Wall, who does both punting and place-kicking duties with the Golden Lions, and this one is fielded at about the 28-yard line. 5-yard return for Landry, and another flag thrown.
We're going to get a block in the back against Southern.
With it being wet out there like it is, Southern cannot afford to have any penalties, being backed up, have to go a lot of yards because their running game was absent last week, and they need to get that started, so we'll see what happens here.
And as I said, look right to the left of your screen. There's the block in the back right there. Coming in, Nate. And just as you're talking about their footing, both players look like they were losing their footing and falling down. I don't like those kind of penalties when officials call it. That's a cheap call.
It's a cheap call, but you got to deal with it. Penalties is a part of the game.
So 1st and 10 for the Jags, and handing it off to the up back for Southern, and that was Javen Bienemy. Javen picks up about 5 yards on the carry. As you take a look at Terrence Levy, was number 1 in the SWAC last year in pass efficiency after taking over in week 6. And this time they give it to Williams.
Got nothing on that.
We now look at our Budweiser starting lineups for Southern. Williams, the running back, the enemy is the fullback, who of course is the cousin of Eric Bieniemy, who played at Colorado. Your offensive line, Tyson, Jenkins, and Green. You go on that left side, you got nothing but big guys in front of you, leading the way. 3rd down and 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet, and Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. 69-yard play.
You know that expression, the king is dead, long live the king? Well, Michael Hayes is gone, but Devin Lewis is here in the house.
I would truly like to say that the offensive line did a great job, but it was
a great pass by Levy. Just quick hands right there by Lewis, and nothing more from here on in but speed. And you miss a guy like Hayes, but this is what Southern talks about when they talk about depth. You have guys who can come from different sides of the ball who can take it the distance.
I was at practice early Thursday, watching them do a little things, and a few scouts was out there looking at Devin Lewis. And I'm not going to call their names because they asked me not to, but, hey, they say he may be a little better.
Well, last week he had a 79-yard touchdown reception as Villagrano in to attempt the point after the penalty. And he converts on it. So Southern, just like that, thanks to Devin Lewis, a 69-yard touchdown play, up 7-0. Southern, they're having a whole lot of fun. That's because the Jaguars didn't waste much time at all. As Devin Lewis catches and runs 69 yards for a touchdown. We've still got 12-14 left here in the first quarter. And so Bobby Jett now will receive his second kickoff for the ball game, taking this one at the 5. Last time he returned it, went 33 yards, and boy, oh boy, say hi. Coming up to make the tackle on that one, Darrell Hurst, and also Jay McBride. As you look at our scoring drive, 3 plays, they say 76 yards. But I got a feeling it was 79. I thought the ball was marked at the 31-yard line. So that would make it a 69-yard touchdown play. So here we are, 1st and 10. Powell with the football at the 21-yard line. Johnson remains in the ball game as the lone setback. Powell tried to get outside, and this turf is very hard to maneuver on.
This turf is hard to maneuver on, and if the weather deteriorates, already the field is bad. If the weather deteriorates, that early score is going to make a big difference. Powell is known for being able to run around the field, but here's the guy, Michael Landry, 47, who gets up on the field. Doesn't make a big difference, but he's there, and that's a key point for Powell to look down the field.
And also you can see Chris Cooper coming up the middle. They're going to blitz. Southern has to blitz to stop this running game. And so when they do pass and they happen to be in a blitz situation, that will help them.
A loss of 7. 2nd down. And already flags again on the field.
It's hard to come into the Jaguar Nation and make things happen because the fans are hollering and making things happen.
Still 2nd down. And they're going to move them back even further now. Inside the 10-yard line. They've got to get to the 32 for a 1st down.
And this is not the strength of Pine-Bluff's offense to get these big plays.
Because when they get behind with a running game, and that's all you know, you're going to have to throw the ball and come out of that.
LaKendrick Powell, who last week was 11 of 22 for 182 yards passing. But this time, they keep it on the ground and give it inside to Johnson. And Johnson takes it outside the 10 to about the 11. Picks up 2 yards on the play, makes it 3rd down in ages.
Well, you mentioned Powell in that competition with Lynn and Leonard for the starting job for Pine-Bluff. He's a guy they liken to Michael Vick. They think he has the ability to run out of the pocket. Although he had a nice week throwing the ball last week, they like his ability to run with the football. It's not going to help him in these situations.
You saw Ron Johnson leave the field. Dwight McKissick comes in, and how do you do? Big time play defensively for Robert Chapman, who met McKissick head on and dragged him down for another loss. Ball now at the 7-yard line.
And Nate, you talked about it. Chapman just times it out just right at the snap of the ball. He's coming across the line of scrimmage. Those are linebackers in the backfield.
Even before he got started, he was there meeting him. What Southern is trying to do is mix in as many stunts as they can. They play a lot of line games, and they're moving them linebackers around because they're very athletic.
Landry standing back at the 50, waiting Wall's punt, and it's partially tipped.
I think he made him nervous, G. I think he made him nervous.
Coming in and getting a piece of that football. Actually, we're trying to pick up a number on him. It looked like it was Shalimar Armstrong, the backup running back, who got a piece of that punt.
These guys are nuts. The guys who go after punts, you got to pick it right off the foot. And that's just what Shalimar does. He gets it right off the foot and gets a pinky on that thing, just a pinky.
That's all it was, if a pinky.
18-yard punt, folks. So Southern already leading 7-0. In good position for some more as they're out at the 25-yard line. I formation and a big-time play that time defensively by Johnny Barnes. Jeremy Williams took the handoff and lost a yard because Barnes made him head on.
That time, Barnes came from the secondary. Just like Chapman kind of picks it off. He makes his timing right. Just coming from the secondary, does Barnes off the corner.
Second down, 12.
You know, Barnes had a big play last week, an interception. You know, he's a pretty tough guy.
So now Levy will go back into the shotgun. The best passer in the SWAC last year, pass efficiency-wise, and finds his receiver Lewis out in the flat, who makes the catch and is immediately met by Dante Wesley.
You know, I guess when you're passing. I guess when you're a passing coordinator like Mark Orlando is, he's just going to be stubborn. He said, forget the weather. He's going to throw the ball. That's what they do best, and he's going to make things happen with it. Levy is a real smart guy. As y'all was talking to him yesterday, Don said he wanted to be an engineer.
Cool customer. Nice, smart kid. Engineer. We looked at him like, hey, engineer and play football?
Right.
We've got movement by the defensive front. That was Lorenzo Akins. But we want to see if that offensive tackle may have moved with him. Got to keep your stance.
You got to keep your composure. A lot of times when you see guys go up to the line and jump like that, they either forgot that snap count, the defense ain't set the way they thought it would be, and their mind begins to wander.
Isn't that something you break the hell up by the time you get to the line of scrimmage, forgot everything that you heard?
Hey, one guy's an engineer, and the other guy's a physical ed teacher.
That was actually Chad Green, number 69, bouncing a little bit at that right tackle spot. So they move back 5 yards. Levy on third down. Look at that sideline. Big time play. Touchdown, Southern. And the catch was made by Kentrell Plain.
Pass is complete to Kentrell Plain. It's good for another Jaguar score.
29-yard touchdown for Plain, and Terrence Levy put it exactly where it had to be.
Sometimes when a guy go down, others have to step up, and here it is.
It's just called a switch route on the right side of the screen, and Plain just takes the ball from the slot position up the sideline.
Villagrano's point after is up, and it's good. And so things are going a little too easy for Southern already. They're up 14-0, and we still have 8:22 left here in the first quarter. Southwest Airlines Black College Football Game of the Week, and there's Lee Hardman, whose club already trails 14-0 with 8:22 left here in the first quarter. Not a good sign for a team that loves to run that football.
He's looking at his quarterback saying, how are we going to get all this back with the run game?
But it's still early in the game. You don't have to abandon your game plan as at this point.
Bobby Jett took it at the 5, gets outside the 20, up to around the 24-yard line where they'll take over 1st and 10. Keep this in mind, folks. Last year, as you take a look at the scoring drive coming up, Pine-Bluff led that ball game 30-7 with 5:52 to play, and Southern then started to make a run, put a couple of touchdowns on the board. So as you say, Nate, still plenty of time to get some things done.
And the key that Coach Harmon worried about when I talked to him earlier this week was if Southern do get up, you know, they're a hard team to stop, but when they're down, they never quit. So he had great respect for Southern's talent.
1st and 10 on the 23-yard line. Look at that formation, gentlemen. The power eye with 3 backs in the backfield. Ron Johnson trying to get to the outside. Yes! And it's the Jaguars saying nothing doing. As number 24 for Southern, Lenny Williams comes up and makes the play, but you got to credit everybody defensive.
Well, again, you have to credit Michael Landry once again at the point of the attack. He's kind of going to get washed out. There's Landry fighting, dueling, but then watch all those yellow shirts. That's because Landry held the play up and allowed that pursuit to stretch the play laterally.
That's what's called staying in your gap, stringing things out, hoping the pursuit come from the inside and make it happen.
Johnson, who we've already told you, had 120 last week. Last year ran for 204 yards against Southern in that victory for Pine-Bluff. Again, the 3-back set, and again, nothing doing. And gentlemen, you've got to wonder, I mean, if they're going to keep the ball and keep running it like this, I would assume that Southern's going to put 8 people on the block and just come after it.
As you can see Johnson there, he's looking all around like, hey, man, I'm not used to this. I'm getting wet. I'm getting hit in the backfield. I don't know what's happening. Look at his foot in that. That is, the field is a quagmire, as one of our guys said earlier in the meetings.
So maybe the key was to maybe get the early lead in this football game, especially when you consider the field conditions.
Right. Because there's a slight drizzle.
So here we are, 3rd down. It looks like it's about 15, and the ball is loose inside, and Southern may have the football. Powell lost control of it, fumbled the football, and Southern gets it back. Big number 71, Travis Dorsey with the recovery.
1st and 10, Jaguars.
Well, you worry so much about footing in the muddy weather. The other thing is the ball is slick. That time, Powell just got a little bit of rub from the fullback passing through.
Southern is filling every gap, making every play count. And right now, the Pine-Bluff team looks real confused. They look like they're frustrated. The running back and the quarterback is not on the same page. Coach Hardeman's going to have to pull these guys together and slow them down.
So here's Levy, 1st and 10. Ball's at the 15-yard line. And this time they're going to run a little option. Williams trying to get to the outside. And nothing doing. Good defensive play by Jamal Joyner, the linebacker.
Gary Williams here from Southern. Stop by Joyner, Pine-Bluff.
So you're looking at Phil Hartman, and you gotta say to yourself, what is going through this guy's mind right now? I mean, he's got that running game. Is he going to have to abandon it totally?
Quickly, if Southern keep up with this fast-paced football with the 4 wides and making things happen.
Yeah, they got 3 receivers split to the right of Levy. Single receiver is Devin Lewis to his left. He's going to roll right. Got a receiver standing. This time to the out for the end zone. An overthrown pass was intended for Kentrell Plain.
You know, Pine-Bluff had to prepare for this 4 wides, but they run around out there like they're a little bit confused, like they was expecting another Southern team to show up or something, but they got to be come together and be a little more organized.
And they continue with the no-huddle offense.
They got you on the run. They got you on your heels. What can you do?
So now here's Levy on 3rd down and make it 12. He's got Gallion in the slot, number 11. But this time he's going to go out into the flat. Again, overthrown. Pass was intended for Gallion, but now you've got a flag on the field down by the 3-yard line. Is that pass interference?
That is pass interference on number 19, Darren Collins, who was all over Gallion. Left side of your screen, there's 19. You see the push in the back. That's when the call was made. Long before just as the ball was in the air. You kidding me? It was PI out of bounds. That would have been pass interference in Canada.
And as you can see, that's nothing but frustration from the young corner. That's nothing but frustration.
So now they're waiting for
holding
a spot.
on the defense, 10 yards from the previous spot. 1st down.
It's Is that an automatic first down? Because it was 12 to go for a first. So if he gets 10 yards.
Inside here, I believe the new rule is now it's a 15-yard penalty, so it's automatic first down. It's a 10-yard penalty, 10-yard penalty, and automatic first down on the whole.
So here we are, first and goal. Williams inside, Williams touchdown. Jerry Williams, who last week rushed for just 4 yards. You knew he wasn't feeling good about that. Coming out in this one and getting a touchdown early.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit earlier before the game, and he was feeling good. He was hungry. He wanted to make things happen. He come right out the right side of that line, big gaping hole, and runs untouched. I know he's feeling good. That's the confidence that he needed.
The junior from Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
And here's Villagrano in to attempt the point after, which would put his team up 3 touchdowns as they lead 21-0. And by the way, folks, we're just getting started here. We still got 5:46 left in the first quarter. And Nate Newton and the Southern Jaguars have jumped all over Arkansas Pine-Bluff. If you missed the touchdowns, let's show them to you very quickly.
To make sure that Mines is right.
Bobby Jett, trouble on the kickoff. Picks it up, and his knee went down at the 11-yard line.
Bobby Jett, return.
And so I would assume things just start snowballing after a while. You're struggling out there. Jett now bobbling the kickoff.
And you see already a little frustration right there by the Pine Bluff return team, and then the offense coming on, a little pushing and shoving going on around there. But eventually these guys are going to learn to get their feet underneath them, but it starts with not catching the football, and then it becomes a scramble. Now he's trying to think, he's got his head up, he's looking downfield, where am I going to get hit from first? And then that's when the problems just begin to escalate, just like you're talking about.
Frustration is the key to the downfall, baby.
So now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff's got to do something offensively.
It comes a point in the game where every snap counts. You got to quit looking ahead. You just...
So the Golden Lions take another timeout, their second of the first half. They took one earlier in the ball game. We're going to take a timeout ourselves. We'll be right back. Home of the Southern Jaguars, who lead in this one 21-0. Lee Hardman obviously very upset with his club, who so far have garnered -14 total yards on 9 plays. That is not going to get it done.
He still looks relatively calm to me.
He's going to stay calm until the 4th. If he's going to continue like this.
He's going to wait until it's too late to lose it.
Again, they go with that 3-back set, trying to get McKissick free, and this time Dwight picks up about 5 yards on the carry.
You know, Nate, you talked about sticking with the game plan, staying with the run game. How long do you wait? Now, see, I'm a thrower. I like to throw the football, so I'm already thinking down 21 with 5 minutes. I'm throwing the ball.
You stay with it to the second half. As you look right here, Arkansas Pine-Bluff has -10 and Southern has 110, but you stay with the running game until the second half, but they can't score anymore. You don't let Southern. Here's the blitz up the middle.
And again, Southern ready for it. And making the play is Jabari Green. Another linebacker.
Well, now they're just getting beat at the line of scrimmage. This is not a blitz. Left side of your screen is Green, number 50. He's just going to come, make a little stunt, come right up the middle.
They're running line games. They're trying to make these big guys of the Bluff move their feet, and Green came right up the middle. He's one of the most improved guys from last year. The coaches are real high on him.
Green was third leading tackler on the club last year.
And they say he's gotten even better.
So here we go, single setback. And McKendrick in his own end zone and just dumps it off. And I don't see a receiver. There's Dwight McKissick.
Well, it was a screen pass, and McKissick got caught up messing around with the defensive lineman, and wasn't able to release, so Powell had no choice but to put it back into the mud.
It wasn't even a release, bro. These guys just ran past him. And Katie bought a door, man. It was like a floodgate. Right now, you know, Big Charles Ray got to pull his team together, his offensive line. Say, hey, man, we've been in this situation before. It's been muddy. They're blitzing and they're running games. Just get on your man and take him wherever he wants to go.
So Wall, who last week averaged 43 yards per punt, This one off the side of his foot and not a good punt. It's going to roll out of bounds at about the 31-yard line.
When it rains.
And how's that ball get when it starts to get real muddy? I mean, is it heavy? Is it hard to throw?
First it gets slick because of the mud, and then it gets wet and it gets heavy. Now you have a heavy, slick football. It makes it tough to throw, which is to Pine-Bluff's advantage. However, Pine-Bluff not trying to throw the football this year.
Not yet.
24-yard punt for Wall. Following that 18-yarder he had a couple of minutes ago. Ball's at the 35-yard line for Levy. Inside handoff to Williams. Williams spinning, twisting, finally brought down by Ricardo Garcia.
And the feeling that I have is all Southern got to do is hit it enough for 4 or 5 yards at a time. They can still stick with their passing game and make it predominant. But as long as they got some semblance of a running game, Pine-Bluff will be having problems.
So here we are now, second down, pick up a 4. So we'll make it 2nd and 6. Jeremy Williams is your sole setback with Levy in the backfield. Levy rolls out for Plain, and Plain can't hold on to the ball. That'll make it 3rd down. And Arkansas Pine-Bluff really has just struggled out here. You've got the wet weather, you've got the miscues. At first, they have the fumble, and then there's Bobby Jett, who couldn't hold on to the football on the
catch
kickoff.
the point of the football.
Catch the point.
Catch the point. You got to look at the point when you.
I understand that, but that ball's muddy.
It's muddy, but hey, that's what y'all guys are, skill position, which I don't believe, but that's what they call y'all. Use your skills.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
So now, after the penalty, it's going to make it 2nd down and long.
That's not Coach Hartman we're looking at, is it?
Yes, it is.
Like he's aged.
Yeah, being down 21-0 will do it to you.
So they lose 5 yards on the penalty. And it remains 2nd down. So here's Levy in the shotgun. You remember, Don, he told us he loved being in the shotgun. He threw the football 47 times last week and said he'd do it all day if they asked him to. This time, though, he's going to hold on to the football. Try the middle of that defense.
I was talking to Coach Orlando, the offensive coordinator. He was telling me he can find ways to run the ball. And this week coming up, he will if he has to use his quarterback. If he has to do some reverses, he's going to find a way to run the ball just to keep the Arkansas Pine-Bluff honest.
And even though the big plays have come in the pass game, you're right, Nate, they really want to emphasize this run game because that's Pete Richardson's trademark is that run game.
So 3rd down and 8 for Levy. Arkansas Pine-Bluff has to come up defensively, and that pass is incomplete. It looked like Michael Shack, the middle linebacker, number 18, may have gotten a hand on it.
Shack was going with flow and just reached back and got just a nick of a hand on it, just enough right there with Shack, just enough to deflect it and not give Plain a good beat. Plain couldn't see the point of the ball, but Shack got his hand on it first, Nate.
Yeah, he had some pressure up the middle from a defensive lineman. I couldn't catch his number. Right now, Pine-Bluff have to come out with all tricks. They have to just bust up with every trick they got to try to throw this offense off their rhythm.
So Villagrana will punt the football, averaging 35 yards a punt. And there's really nobody back deep for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, counting on the fact this will roll into the end zone. And boy, it rolls, but not into the end zone as they down it inside the 5-yard line.
Chicken.
We'll be right back after this. Hope for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. They made a stop defensively. That was something that's rare in this football game because it looked like Southern couldn't be stopped. They score on 3 possessions.
But when you have a fast-paced team like Southern, then you do slow down, you do catch your breath, but they will be back.
So again, with that strong I formation, 1st and 10 in their own end zone. This is what they like about Kendrick Powell. He can run with the football. And he picks up a 1st down and good yards in the process.
And every guy out there made the block that time. I mean, Charles Ray has to pull his guys together and make them understand that, hey, as you see right here, they seal everybody out. They put the running backs out in front, and the quarterback just run. That's amazing. They figured out how to get on Southern. Just make everybody block and let the quarterback run.
He said they discovered something. Blocking, huh?
Yeah.
But they pick up a first down and some breathing room, getting a little real estate behind them to work with. This time they get it to the deep back, and that's McKissick and Dwight moving those legs. That's why they call him Thunder. Those big old thighs and the way he runs the football, and he picks up good yardage on the carry.
And Mark Harris made a nice block to get him outside on that left side to make some things happen. All they got to do is keep getting yardage. They got to keep getting plush started. They can't let Southern blitz them and knock them back. That just defeats everything they're trying to do.
So here we are, 2nd down and 2. It's a very interesting set that Arkansas Pine-Bluff is running with in this football game. Putting 2 fullbacks in front of the deep back, and McKissick bounces off 1 tackle and picks up a first down as he gets out to about the 28-yard line.
As you can see, Big Charles Ray there moving around. As you can see, Big Charles Ray is focusing on his man. He's trying to take him upfield, but he just walled him off. You got to get that left hand inside, because on the next level, we will call that.
So they say Charles Ray was rated the 3rd best offensive lineman returning in Division I AA football this season, and does the job there as they get a first down. But this time, Southern says nothing doing as they're waiting for McKissick on that carry.
But you know, it's not hard, the defense. As you see right here, they try to make something happen. He sees a hole, but he loses his footing and can't get up in there, and they just swarm onto him.
Credit the linebacker, though, Jabari Green, with forcing something inside and making McKissick have to make that quick move on this turf that you see is getting worse and worse with every play.
I wonder if they have longer cleats on, spikes on, or they're playing with standard cleats.
This time, the pass is caught by Devoris Haynes. Picks up about 7 yards on the play, on the quick out. Williams on the coverage.
Williams is closing on this ball. It was a little bit late and very close. And you look at the mud. It's gone beyond mud on the sideline, but in the middle of the field, it's still very thick, and those don't look like long spikes.
Well, under 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. McKissick with the carry, getting another first down for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and they'll stop the clock to move the chain.
And George, you talk about this offensive set by Pine-Bluff, and you say it's a little curious. They're down 21-0, but they're making a point here. They started this drive inside their own 5-yard line, and now they're approaching midfield, and they're doing it with 2 tight ends and 3 guys in the backfield. So they're making a statement that they're going to do, as Nate says, stick to their game plan.
And if they do that and keep Southern from scoring again, they can come back into this game. And it'll look ugly. It will be ugly, but they can't do it.
Well, we've come to the end of the first quarter, and it's 21-0. And I don't know whether that's ugly or pretty. It depends on which sideline you're on, I guess. We'll be back with second quarter action. And having fun. The Arkansas Pine-Bluff marching band. And keep in mind, at halftime, we will bring you both bands that perform here at Mumford Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. George Johnson, along with Nate Newton and Don McPherson. Our first football game of the season, black college football. And Arkansas Pine-Bluff trailing 21-0 and looking to try to put together some sort of drive. That pass over the middle intended for the tight end, Phillip Doolin.
And that was a great protection by that offensive line. They seem to be settling down. They're catching up to what Southern is doing defensively with the games and the stunts, and they're starting to make their move as an offensive line.
And just look at the way Arkansas Pine-Bluff has started this football game. Deep in their own territory.
That's right. And then remember, this drive started inside the 5.
And yet they've made it very easy for Southern, who's getting the football on an average at the 35 of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Good block there. Can Johnson get free? Nothing doing. Good play defensively for Southern. Eddie Woods comes up and makes the play.
That's an outstanding aggressive play coming in from the secondary by Woods.
Oh, yes, definitely was a nice play.
And you can tell he's got fresh legs. You can tell because he has no mud on him. And he makes a good job this time of coming up and making it tough for Johnson. There's not a lot of running room there for Johnson.
And I wonder will Johnson get frustrated here. Well, I mean, because early in the game, you saw him looking at his uniform like, hey, what's wrong? I'm not supposed to be dirty. But, brother, you're dirty today.
Well, last week he had 120 yards rushing, and it was McKissick who had just 4 yards. And maybe this weather works better for McKissick. Pass over the middle, in and out of the hands of the tight end, Phillip Doolin.
Phillip Doolin's supposed to be a nice guy. He's one of the fastest guys on the team at the receiver position. He's a tight end that splits out in special situations to make things happen.
And you take a look at him, he looks more like a running back, which is the position he played in high school. And this guy, they say, can do so many different things.
Jakari Williams defensively made the play. And that creates a 4th down situation for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and Wall is going to punt. Back deep is Ezra Landry, standing inside the 20-yard line at about the 18.
Nice punt.
He's going to take this one.
Great coverage.
Great coverage.
Good play for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Coverage by Darrell Logan. And Logan got a hand on him, and Ezra could go nowhere, and so they're going to start 1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line.
Hey.
1st and 10 Southern for the round 13.
And this definitely has been a surprise to Southern. Their defense has stepped up. Now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff has not helped themselves with some key mistakes, but Southern has played the entire game so far in the backfield. They're making plays behind the line of scrimmage, and that's the key for this defense so far, is that they've been able to penetrate Arkansas Pine-Bluff's backfield.
Here's Guyan off the quick out pass from Levy. He takes it out to about the 18-yard line.
When you're dealing with a team that passes the way Southern does, and they get into a rhythm, it's just like a run game, because they hit you short, they hit you long, they throw screens, and then they will come back sometime with some type of run. So right now Southern is in a nice rhythm.
Now you make a good point. That short pass into the flat like that with Levy going in motion towards the receiver, it is just like they kind of put that in the run package.
Right.
Pick up a 5. So here's Jeremy Williams, inside handoff, finds a little room and took a shot by Barnes, but not until he picked up a 1st down.
I love it when I see a running back and a DB collide like that, because neither one of them more than about 200 pounds, and they just bounce off of each other.
As you can see right here, you see the offensive line is just moving them and taking them wherever they want to go in this quagmire. And the running back makes a great cutback, and he tries to punish the DB. Barnes is a little upset.
This time they give it to Javon Bienemy, the fullback. He may have picked up a couple of yards. Jamal Joyner, the linebacker, comes up and makes the tackle.
2 seconds, dog.
Troutman and Wesley also in on the play. So now 2nd down. And let's make it 7 yards. Levy still has the football. Levy had no one downfield. Looked like a miscommunication with his receiver.
Well, they were trying to run the same play that Plain scored the touchdown on earlier, the switch route with both receivers going up the field. And that time, I believe, Guyan got tripped up a little bit, and he just quit on the route.
Jenkins, Brandon, Patrick Tyson, Daniel Leon, Chad Green are doing a great job of giving the quarterback time to throw the ball. I mean, he could have brought it down and looked other places. I mean, right now the Bluff is confused.
3rd down now and 7 for Levy. Continues to operate out of the no huddle, keeping the Golden Lions off guard. There's Levy again, over the middle, pass up in the air, tip drill. Pass is intercepted by Dante Wesley, and that's the big-time play they talked about that he is capable of making.
That was not Devin Lewis with the alligator arms, was it? No, it wasn't. I don't think so.
So Dante Wesley with the interception, giving his club good field position at the 41-yard line.
Some things going, even though they're up 21-0. But what we get here is Devin Lewis kind of pulled his hands a little bit. He started to get the ball in towards linebacker territory, and when he pulled his hands down, that gave the ball, that put a little tip on the ball and gave Wesley a chance to make the pick.
Dante Wesley, who broke his wrist before the game last year and didn't play in that contest.
But did we talk about this kid earlier?
Yes, we did.
They cannot let anything go free because Wesley will grab it.
So here it is, 1st and 10 for the Golden Lions. Inside handoff goes to Johnson, and Johnson still having trouble finding some running room. Again, if you're just joining us, we're here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, coming to you live from Mumford Stadium on the campus of Southern University. George Johnson, along with Don McPherson and Nate Newton, and it's 21-0 Southern over Arkansas Pine-Bluff. The first conference game of the year for the Jaguars. Pine-Bluff won last week against Mississippi Valley State. But boy, they've got troubles in this one. Here's Powell looking downfield, overthrows his receiver, got the flag.
Good call by the ref.
Pass was intended for number 3, Mark Bradley.
You know, sometimes, you know, I agree with some calls, I disagree with other calls. That's a bad call. That ball was 6 yards past the receiver. That is not pass interference. It was not catchable.
But all the refs could see there was them tangled up. And sometimes, you know, they take their eyes off the ball for that split second, and the call is made.
Are you defending the referee?
No, I'm not. I know I'm not, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm seeing it from this point of view. It's not much, but.
Well, look where the ball lands. The ball lands clearly way over the head of the wide receiver. There's no chance.
15 yards from the previous spot, 1st down.
I'll tell you what, though, you got to give credit to the wideout because he held his hands up.
Right.
And when you're trailing 21-0, you do anything you possibly can to get back in your football game. And if it means begging for any yard that you can possibly get, give me a little help. After all, as Nate would say, they're playing in front of the nation.
The nation, the Jaguar nation.
15-yard penalty. That was Cody Smith on the coverage. As you get a good look at Jabari Green. Very aggressive linebacker, 1st and 10. This time single setback. And Powell will hold on to the football and take it inside the 20-yard line, down to the 15. Looks like it's good enough for another 1st down.
Boy, it's so clear and obvious when Powell has his mind made up and a design run. He takes a quick 3-step drop, and then he's off. It's a nice block there from Lee, leaving the backfield.
That's one of the reasons he's in there, because he not only can pass very well, but he can run. And I think that's what gave him the edge over the other 2 quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Powell was a 2-time JUCO All-American before coming to Arkansas Pine-Bluff. 1st and 10. Ball at the 15-yard line. Powell, and his pass is complete. Bradley makes the catch, and this time Smith is there, Johnny on the spot.
That's all you can do. When you have a quick outlet, a quick pass like that, that's all you can do is come up and make sure you make the tackle. But it was dependent on that was for the wide receiver to make a move and shake free for some yards. That was a very good open field tackle.
Powell now 2 for 6 for 13 yards throwing the football. But he has run it for 6 yards. So here's Powell again, going to throw the football over the middle, looking for his receiver, and another flag. This time, the pass was intended for Haynes. And they get another flag on an interference call.
They're going to call this one on Williams, and he's shaking his head saying, hey, man, what can I do? Seemed like pretty good coverage. He just had him walled off in the secondary. But Haynes goes down and a little bit more politicking. Middle of the screen, there's the push right there.
A little crossing route.
All you got to do is get a hand on him. That's it.
The Bluff offensive line is really pulling themselves together. We saw that with the last drive, but this drive here is even better than the last one. They're composed, they're handling the blitz, and they're handling the games of something.
And they're inside the 2. McKissick in the backfield. But Powell says he's going to hold on to it and runs into a host of Jaguars. And they've got the football going back the other way.
The whistle has been blown.
Boy, what an effort by that defensive defensive front. It looked like big number 71, Travis Dorsey, was the man who served as a roadblock to Powell, who was just inches from the goal line.
Once again, Powell's supposed to go out and around. He decides to cut it up. He's got 2 blockers in front of him. He decides to go inside where there's too many yellow shirts.
Yeah, he just underestimated the pursuit. I mean, the hole was there, and as a runner, he's got to take it.
Lendrick Francois is at the line. We love to say the name Francois. And here's Powell on the quarterback keeper, and touchdown.
Right up the middle.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Great job by Patrick Tyson. Super job by Daniel Leon. This guy is to the right of the middle.
Just an impressive series of plays by Pine-Bluff.
The guys, they bowed their neck. Brandon Small, Patrick Tyson, they bowed their neck. They got up under Southern and drove them out.
And Wall will come in to attempt the PAT. Pick this up, and it's good.
The ref was slow to say something.
And so, just maybe Lee Hardman knew something we didn't. He was called for a reason. They're back in it.
See Levy just bow his neck and get in behind those big offensive linemen, and they just push Southern right out of the way. Oh, nice block. Number 65 just kept his feet and kept driving and finished him off.
That's Charles Ray.
Charles Ray.
Man, you've been talking about.
But wasn't that off the left side?
Well, you know what they've been doing. It seems like they're moving these offensive linemen around.
I better pay more attention to that.
Yeah, you know, it would be good to see.
It would be good to see that. It would being that I was an ex-offensive lineman.
That might help. So here comes Southern on the return. And a good little move right there by Ezra Landry. And a nice return as he takes it out to about the 27-yard line. 22-yard return for Ezra Landry. So it'll be 1st and 10 Southern when we return from this commercial break. 9:58 left. Over the rainbow. There's a victory for one of these teams.
Isn't it somewhere under the rainbow?
Is it under or over?
When I see a rainbow,
Somewhere
I think
under
about
the
a little bit of
rainbow?
grub and, you know, the arch, the McDonald's. So, you know, I want to see a rainbow. Popsicle of some sort, a bomb popsicle.
New running back in for Southern is Antonio Williams. And Williams takes it out to about the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 3 yards for Southern, who leads in this one 21-7.
Antonio Williams here.
Williams, a senior, 6'1", 230-pounder, who was Mr. Football in the state of Alabama back in '96. Took a couple of years off from the sport, and he's back and looking for some time here in Southern.
He's got to be a bad boy to be Mr. Football in Alabama.
That's right. Seems like everybody retires and come back these days, though.
You coming back, Nate?
No, I'm not coming back. I'm too old.
Here's Lewis off the catch, looking for some room, and still trying to find some. And the big defensive tackle, Willie Seals, comes up and makes the play. The freshman from Forest City, Arkansas.
Made a fine play.
And that's what Lewis wants. He wants the ball in his hand. The interception when he got too far to the middle of the field. Now he gets it out there by the numbers. Now he can pull it down and be an athlete. Start looking for a place to go. Pushing his own men out the way. Get out the way.
But you see the big right guard, Daniel Leon, was out there trying to make a block for him. That's good for offensive linemen to get downfield, try to make things happen, let your skill position players know that you're out there to help them.
Williams on the carry, close to a first down, but credit Terrell Hammonds.
There's almost 2. If you look just to the left of the pole there, there's another one. There's 2 rainbows.
Yes, you do. You have 2 of them.
Them arches. Oh, boy.
Now they's getting even more hungry.
So now it's 4th down and 1 as Williams was short of a first down, and Southern will punt the football. Villagano is back to punt.
This is a big drive for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Well, Pine-Bluff knew they had to make a stop defensively. Now it's time for the offense to pick up their end of the bargain as Bobby Gent lets that one bounce inside the 40-yard line. And Arkansas Pine-Bluff will take over 1st and 10. Looks like it'll be spotted at the 39.
You know, as much as you talk about the importance of this drive offensively, don't underestimate the last 2 stops for Pine-Bluff on defense because the Southern offense was clicking and they were scoring quick. And it really was. You expect a dogfight. You expect bad weather. You expect a dogfight. But Southern was scoring quick, and now Pine-Bluff has shut them down. That gives the entire bench right.
Dwight McKissick is now your deep back behind Powell, the quarterback, and they give it to him. Chapman couldn't get a hand on him, and he spins free for maybe a yard, 2 yards on the play.
The hole is there, but these running backs got to slow down, pace themselves, and when they see it, then explode. Because they did a great job on that right offensive side of the line.
And check that, Jabari Green, number 50, has been all over the place for Southern. I mean, he has been in the backfield, time in and time out, defensively, the linebacker.
Like Coach said, he's the most improved guy. Terrence Graves, the linebacker coach, said he came a long way from last year, and he was the third lead tackler last year. Great protection.
Foul downfield, looking for his receiver, and the ball was overthrown. It was intended for Mark Bradley.
Nice coverage by Williams there, step for step. A lot of speed out here. Despite the muddy conditions, still a lot of speed out here on the corner.
As you can see, that Southern band is coming early.
They're coming at halftime, and I'm excited.
They say it is the sonic sound of the South, but I don't know. You got Fam, you got Grambler. It's a lot of people stepping up saying they the top band.
But Kendrick Powell, 7, or actually 2 for 7 throwing the football for 13 yards. McKissick has done the most damage running the football as he's run for 26 on the blitz. Here comes Southern.
Here come heat.
And they brought everybody.
You can always depend on defensive players to take a little extra shot when they hear whistle blow. They're going to keep on coming and finish the play anyway.
Right. Robert Chapman was in, making great plays.
Kentrell Blatcher also, number
Michael
96.
Landry. I mean, the floodgates open. It's like as soon as the Arkansas Pine-Bluff offensive lineman figured it out, gets the stunt down, they come with a new one. They come with a new one. Hats off to Cliff Lewis, the defensive coordinator, because he's putting a wrinkle here, a wrinkle there. He's not giving them the whole package at one time.
Well, obviously the play didn't count. It's 3rd down. They waved the flag off, and for some reason, Pine-Bluff has the football.
So they got replacement refs.
And here's Powell. Almost slips, gains his footing on the run, pass. And unable to hold on to the football on the out pattern is Mark Bradley.
Mark Bradley. You know, he had 3 catches last week for 100 yards against Valley. And he's just not making it happen today. He's frustrated. He's looking for something to happen. He's telling his coach, hey, it wasn't my fault. But it touched your hands. Catch the ball.
And George, you asked what happens to that ball as you get going. It gets heavy, and it's tough for receivers to catch with their hands when it's heavy and slick.
I wouldn't know. I never touched the ball during the game.
So Wall will punt from the 40. Landry back to receive the punt. He's inside his own 20. So Southern's defense comes up large on that possession. And look at that special teams play.
I think Southern guy tackled his own guy.
That is exactly what happened.
Logan again with a big-time play. He made one earlier, makes another one. So far, the star of special teams for the Golden. And alive, George Johnson, Don McPherson, Nate Newton.
Newton.
I got you down. Today's Southwest Airlines Black College Football Game of the Week on BET.
You better be easy on the big man. You better say his name right.
I see him over there. He's got a big old face all turned up now. He's all upset.
I'm happy,
like
man.
I play for the Redskins or something.
Yeah, you know, Redskins don't make no noise on me.
Levy, who so far is 5 of 11 throwing the football.
Nice
this
block.
time, quarterback draw. And he picks up good yards before being brought down by Barnes.
Levy carries, not by Joyner.
It's such a good change-up in this type of offense. And then you talk about the block up front.
He came around with a nice trap block. The back was right up, came right off his rear end, made a great play.
11-yard pickup for Terrence Levy. 1st down. Ball is at the 25. Levy is again in that shotgun formation.
Ready to blitz. They're backing off. They're backing off.
And a whistle. Too much time. And not a good whistle offensively. Drive offensive coordinators crazy.
I tell you, sometimes offensive coordinators are guilty, and I don't think maybe that this is the case, but of giving kids too much to think about. Line up and run the play. Sometimes colleges, they want to get so advanced and start throwing so many different things out there. And Levy's not in the huddle. They're not huddling up, so he's making all those calls. He's going to sit there right now. He's going to look at the defense and determine what play he wants to use. Sometimes there's too much thinking.
That's right. And if you got guys stepping up like they're going to blitz, he really is going to start thinking.
Levy pump and go. Levy finds his receiver, Devin Lewis, who makes the catch out near the 40-yard line.
Devin Lewis is standing up tall in this game.
And he and Wesley are having a nice little battle out there in the corner. A little bit of pressure in the face of Levy, but not enough, because he's able to sail that ball out there. You see the separation between Lewis and Wesley.
18-yard pickup. Lewis now rolling to his left, throwing a tough throw to make. But you'd think the Guyan should have had that ball.
It's a tough catch for Guyan. You see, look at the mud starting to accumulate on these guys' hands. If the ball's not near their chest, it's going to be a difficult ball to catch as these conditions worsen. And that time, Levy, rolling to his left, had to throw the ball behind himself and also behind Guyan. A tough catch for Guyan to make.
So you should take off the gloves and use your hands. Wouldn't that be a better?
Well, you know what happens? Guys get so conditioned to having that glove on their hands that they don't know how to catch the ball with their hands anymore.
Well, that pass right there sort of just flew off of the hands of Levy, but it is complete to Devin Lewis. Good enough for another first down.
And he's getting great protection up front with Brandon Small, Eric Jenkins. Look at the protection. Turn rotate to the left. Oh, man, nice. Daniel Lewis, all those guys are having great protection.
He didn't even have the laces on that throw. He kind of shot-putted that ball out there.
Barnes again on the defensive stop. The linebacker, number 9, is, you can't even tell his number anymore. He's been all over the place and mud all over him. And that pass is dropped. It was intended for Adam Nelson.
Something about the middle of that field going into those linebackers, the receivers of Southern can't hold on to it. Is it the mud this time?
Well, not the mud, no. That time the ball was just thrown low. And he should have had that catch.
And taking it to the house.
What do you think about Terrence Levy so far as a quarterback, Don?
Well, I think what they're doing with him right now offensively shows that he is a bright kid. He's calling the plays from the line of scrimmage. It's not a hurry-up offense. It's just a no-huddle offense.
Led the conference in passing efficiency last year with the SWAC, but this time hands off inside to Jeremy Williams. Nothing doing. Trotman is there defensively to make a play.
Shack
and the
made
linebacker.
a great play. He tries to get across on the right side of the line, coming from the left. Shack reads it and come 90 going north.
Had to maneuver past his own offensive lineman to get some room. You big guys need to get out the way.
He had to cross over. He had to cross all the way over. It's a long ways to go.
There's Levy. Good protection. Again, over the middle passes complete. And look at Lewis. Stretch the ball out for the first down. That's why the pro scouts like him. He has the ability to make those kind of plays.
But you see Dante Wesley is playing smart too, trying to pull him back. So, I mean, these two guys battling for position. We may have another injury.
And that is not a good sign.
I mean, when you think about Southern and the luck they've had losing receivers this year, they lost Michael Hayes. We talked about that at the top of the show, who had 80 receptions. They also lost out Travion Jobert. And Jobert, of course, is going to be out for a couple of weeks. He also has a bum knee.
He throws across right here. And Wesley is trying to pull him back, and I think he falls in an awkward way and hurts himself.
That's a good sign right there.
But you made a good point. He had the presence of mind to know where that first down marker was and just try to stretch that ball out there. It doesn't get there. Hard to see what happens to him exactly. You never know what goes on when a guy goes down like that face first and can't brace himself.
On the other hand, could have just had the wind knocked out of him. You stretch out, your chest is exposed, and maybe he's going to the ground a little bit hard. More right after this. The band members for Arkansas Pine-Bluff getting ready for halftime. You'll want to stay tuned to us because we're bringing you both bands live as they perform here at Mumford Stadium. We'll also have first half highlights.
Hello.
Looking at black college football here on BET. 4th down and less than a yard to go, and Terrence Lee decides to hold on to it with the quarterback keeper, and he's going to get that first down.
And I just like to see when the big guys just bunch up like that, man, and get their feet up on them and just move people off the ball, man. That's just a great feeling.
Is the key to that getting as low as possible? They say that. No,
you know,
it's
finding
not.
that happy medium, you know, not too low, not too high, but, you know, but have that girth land on it. You know what I'm saying?
That girth.
Yes, sir.
So here it is, 1st and 10 for Southern. And Terrence Levy got the first down. Football's inside the 40. 3 receivers split to the left for Levy. He's going to fake the inside handoff, and very nice defensive play made.
Big Brandon Small pulled out from the left guard position, trying to get across to make a good block. If the quarterback would have got in there quicker, it could have been something special.
But Bolden, not fooled by the fake handoff inside, and makes the big-time tackle.
Bolden's one of the best players on that defensive line for the Bluff, and Coach said a lot of great things about him, Marty Stewart did.
Again, 3 receivers split left for Terrence Levy, who's got Williams in the backfield. Levy's going to roll to the left again. Plenty of time to throw the football. Pass is complete. And Levy has just been sharp out there throwing the football. This time, he finds Bridges.
He's just been standing up with all that.
Very often in the muddy conditions, when the first guy falls, the second guy falls, and the first guy gets up. And that time, the receiver was the first one to fall. When he got up, the defensive back was on the ground.
Hey, making plays.
Bridges
make plays.
Sorry about that, Nate. Bridges' first catch of the season.
Was the right guy from the pool?
1st and 10.
Was it a pass?
Ball just outside the 20-yard line, and this has been a real nice drive for the Jaguars. This time they give it to the deep back, but this is Antonio Williams, not Jeremy, but Antonio, who we talked about. And we got some pushing inside there, Nate.
Some pushing and shoving. The Bluff trying to make their presence known. They know they need a big stop here. The Southern score here, the game is back kind of out of hand. So Arkansas Pine-Bluff has got to make a move. They got to either blitz, come from the outside with a corner blitz, and run some games up the middle to stop this passing attack.
And that clock continues to roll. They're not in a hurry to run this plays. We're under 3 minutes left here in the first half. Levy fakes, Levy throws, Guyan catches. And Guyan eludes one tackler, but Dante Wesley won't let him get too far after that.
I'm real impressed with what Southern is doing right now offensively. These kind of passes, they're not big plays. They're just enough to get you 3 and 4 and 5 in the pass game that substitutes a run game. Right now, it's a little muddy, a little thick on the interior. Get the ball into the perimeter and allow your speed guys to get you those 3 and 4 yards. Now they're looking at a 3rd and just inches.
Especially with the clock running down.
High formation. This time, Antonio Williams looking to get to the outside. And Johnny Barnes drags him down at about the 10-yard line, but not until he gets a first down on the play.
Last week, Johnny Barnes made a lot of plays, and that's not saying a whole lot. And the safety have to come up and make a lot of plays.
Yeah, you don't want your safeties coming up that much. You know, Southern's coming out with a lot of guys. You can always tell the guys with the clean shirts. Once again, that's showing their depth. They're bringing guys off the bench. And as you said, Barnes is having to come up and make too many plays from the secondary position.
Again, I formation. Here's Williams again inside. Led by a host of Golden Lion players, and you can hear the officials saying, come on now, let's pick it up. Let's be careful, though.
Let's roll out of there easy, because when you got that much weight falling on, things can happen.
There's a good shot at Antonio Williams, the senior. Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa. I like that. I like that. Greenland ribs. Oh, boy.
2nd down inside the 10-yard line. Southern can still get a first down before scoring a touchdown. There's Reed. Out pattern is complete to Lewis. Look at Lewis go down to get that football.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of room for a comfortable route down here inside the 10-yard line. That time, Levy, he's earning every penny, boy. He went down for that football.
You know, you got the end zone as your helper back there with Arkansas Pine-Bluff. So actually, I would put pressure. I would take a chance because you have to stop Southern and even knock them back, because 3 points here can be crucial for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Under a minute left here in the first half, and Southern timing this perfectly. They're going to try to take everything off this clock they can.
Well, you were asking me about you were asking me about Levy earlier and what I thought, and going with the no-huddle shows his intelligence. Also, right now he's showing outstanding clock management in managing the last 5 minutes of this half.
Under 40 seconds left, and then once they finish this first half, again, we want to remind you that we bring you both bands at halftime as they'll perform right here on BET Live.
Look at that big offensive line walking off. Feeling good.
Feeling real good. After all, they lead by 14 points with 39 seconds left here in the first half. And the band for Southern.
It's playing Contagious by Ronnie Eyes.
You up here grooving, ain't you?
Yeah, because, you know, the Bluff need to catch a case and get real mad and try to come back. You know what I'm saying?
So here it is, third down. And Levy going to the end zone. Wesley on the defense, and he's going to be called for pass interference. They tried to lob the football to Lewis. That's a great matchup between Wesley and Devin Lewis.
Those two guys are battling out there, but Lewis that time, Wesley that time, needs to understand exactly what Nate just said. You have the sideline as an extra man. You don't need to push him. All you need to do is get position. That time, he kept his hand on Lewis, and that's where you get the BI. Right there, right in front of you, coming right at you. See the hand, see the body contact? He needs to pull his hands back and let the sideline do its work.
Pass interference on the 1-yard line. First and goal.
You know, when you got to play like that, you got the end zone, you got the sideline, and just like Don said, you have to play smart down here. Now they give him another chance at him.
And keep in mind, Southern hasn't called any timeouts, so if they don't get in here, they can take a timeout, if I'm not mistaken, but they get in anyway. And Williams gets in for the touchdown. Antonio scoring his second touchdown of the season. And his team again extends the lead.
And look at the offensive line right here. It gets everybody off their feet. If you get guys off their feet, then you can make moves. But Antonio Williams made a great power run running over the guy there.
He ran over Joyner, and Jamal has been playing great all game long. And
when you're making tackles all game and you come back and you get hit, I mean, you keep getting hit, eventually you're going to break.
And that may have been the case there, as in to attempt the point after is Francisco Villagrana, the senior from Phoenix, Arizona.
Francisco,
we had a Francois.
Francisco.
And Francisco's kick is good. So it's now 28-7 with half a minute left. And Pete Richardson's club has been in control throughout this football game. They came prepared for this.
Look at Coach Richardson's face. He just knows, he just feel it. Hey, I'm not going to get low, I'm not going to get too high.
He knew coming in, and there was a lot of talk around this area that there was a lot of pressure on him. And you talked about the fact that he took his team and kind of hid them. You were at the barbershop.
Right.
You were at the barbershop.
Well, it's barbershop. I'm on government. And I'm saying, hey, man, what y'all think about this game? They're like, hey, man, as long as he beat Grambling. I'm like, what about this game? Hey, we don't worry about it. So, you know.
So they back Pete.
They back Pete. But, you know, it would seem better if you 8 or 9 or whatever with a Grambling win versus 6 and 5 with a Grambling loss. Absolutely. Right.
And keep in mind, this is probably a bitter taste that's been in their mouth all year long. They lost last season to Arkansas Pine-Bluff, a team that just dominated them, had over 500 total yards in that ball game, and you know Southern didn't forget it.
Exactly. It's not just losing, it's the way they lost. They got drove, especially on the ground. And you know Pete Richardson was telling us that. He didn't want to say it. I asked him in the middle of the week, is this kind of like a little bit of revenge? He goes, no, every game is the same, but you can tell that this game meant a little something extra.
When I talked to the players, they was like, hey, man, it's on.
That's right.
Let's just suit it up because it's on.
Bobby Jett is going to take this one at his own 6-yard line, looking for some daylight. And a nice little return out past the 30-yard line, but just 25 seconds left here in the first half. As that sonic boom is
The nation's coming alive.
The nation's coming alive. Hey, Don, right here, would you, for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, would you take a knee or would you try something in a situation? I always be kind of hesitant being a ground type guy that I am.
I think the way that the first half is gone, I would take a knee. I would just try to get out of this half right now. They're in the middle of the field. It's a muddy part of the field. They're not going to get a lot going, especially everything to the right of them is muddy. That's the boundary. Everything to the left is the field and more mud. So I would, if I were them, I'd try to get out of this half alive.
Okay.
So we're going to see what McKendrick Powell is going to do, number 8. The signal caller for the Golden Lions. He's got I formation behind him. And his deep back is Ron Johnson, and Johnson getting the first down and getting out of bounds.
Trying to make lightning strike.
That's the first time we've seen Ron find a little room to display his lightning skills.
You know, when you see a guy that's used to having his way, and he feels good, he bounces around, and then when a little frustration come in, things don't go his way, and he don't make a lot of plays. So that's the main part of the game that he will have to adjust if he chooses to participate on the next level.
He came into this game 1,000 yards shy of becoming the all-time leading rusher.
Right, against the Valley.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Right.
History. So he's looking for big yardage each and every game so he can catch that Marcus. They throw out into the flats. Carrick Williams was the receiver. And Powell looks like he took a timeout. 4 seconds left on the clock.
Well, he let about 8 to 9 seconds burn before he made that call. And that's what I was talking about earlier. If you're not gonna go for the deep play,
right,
they hand the ball off. Even the officials are taking a beating in this mud. They hand the ball off and then they throw the ball into the flat, and they're really not getting much out of it. The field conditions are not conducive to a quick strike going deep.
But that's what I asked you earlier. If you're gonna take a knee and let it run out, go head on. But as you say, you got to either throw it long or have some type of trick play that makes them happen. Because the closer you get to the half, these linemen like, oh man, let's just run the ball.
Right.
That's just their mentality. Let's just run the ball. We can come back like that. But they're dying with every play.
That's right.
And so a coach got to either make something big happen right here in this short span of time, or either just take it to the locker room.
Absolutely.
And speaking of locker room, Don, what would you be getting ready to tell the Arkansas Pine-Bluff at this time?
I would tell them to keep doing what they did in the middle of the second quarter, and that is to keep their heads in. Just like you said, don't abandon the game plan. Keep your heads in it and understand that you can play with these guys, and you can play well with them.
Right. But this is a new Southern team, right?
There's no question about it. This is not the Southern team they played last year.
So this will be the last play of the first half. They decide to keep it on the ground, and Johnson gets to the outside. He'll pad the stats with a 9-yard pickup. But that'll be the end of the first half of play here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Southern, the home team, has been in control from the start. They took a 21-0 lead in the first quarter. Arkansas Pine-Bluff answered with a nice long drive that resulted in 7. But Southern University then would answer with another short touchdown of their own, and that is why they lead 28-7. And we're still trying to wait right now to maybe get a word with the head coach of Southern, Pete Richardson. Ask him about that first half as his team got off to a quick start. As you see Lee Hardman. And Coach Pete Richardson, thanks for joining us. Can you hear us, Coach?
Yes, I can.
Just want to ask you very quick, your club got off to a quick start. Talk a little bit about what you were trying to accomplish early on, sir.
We knew we had to stop the running game, and we had a couple turnovers there early to help us out a great deal.
You've obviously been able to throw the football despite the fact that this field has been really bad out there.
Well, we've been throwing the football in the rain all week, so I think our players are used to it, and we got a good line of communication with the wide receivers and the quarterback.
Thank you very much, Coach, for joining us. Good luck to you second half.
Thank you.
Head coach Pete Richardson of Southern University and his club came out. They were fired up from the start.
That's the most
advanced. Looks good here in this first half. So it's halftime here. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Southern going at it. When we come back, it's time for a showtime here in Baton Rouge. report. Arkansas Pine-Bluff's band, the marching musical machine of the Mid-South. Band director John Graham and the dancing girls of the Golden Girls. Sit back and enjoy the block. of the Mid-South from Arkansas, Pine-Bluff, and John Graham, your band director. Coming up next, Southern's Marching Band. And this one is going to be special. We'll have more right after this. Southern University with the Jaguars, the home team, leads by 21 over Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And make sure to log on to bet.com/BCF and enter the Southwest Airlines Black College Football Contest. You can win a $100 Sam Goody gift certificate for the grand prize. Trip for 4 to Las Vegas, including $1,000 in cash. On the field right now, the Southern University Marching Band, directed by Dr. Isaac Briggs. Your dancing girls, the dancing dolls. More entertainment right now.
Together for the 2001 edition of the Fabulous Dancing Dolls as they jam to the sound of Shake Your Pants. Amazing, trailblazing, 360 steps per minute. One of the many reasons why when you say Southern University Marching Band, it means excitement. Anything that's on the chest that lets you know that they're the best. The Southern University Marching Band is simply America's finest. So sit back, relax, for you're about to experience the most exciting time of your life. As the stimulating, the dazzling, the house rocker, the rock over all houses as the crowd pleaser takes you on a ride. The band will now jam to the sounds of area codes, so fresh and so clean. Back. Number 2, represent the West Side. Lay low, it's time to ride. Come on. Break up. Come on. Break. Number 3, come on and turn the hub. Pine-Bluff, back it up and give me 50 feet. Back that up. Give me 50 feet. Back it up. Give me 50 feet. Number 2, don't be so soft. Break it on down and shut it off. Mr. Officer, to take them handcuffs off for us. We ain't gonna hurt nobody. We just call it off right and lay it up. All night long. Now somebody, anybody, everybody scream! Southern University Marching Band is under the direction of
Southern University Marching Band. We go to commercial break for that first half highlights here on Stats. It's been Southern pretty much the whole way.
I tell you what, it looks very even, except that one big 176 over on the right side for Southern, and that was the quick strikes in the beginning of the game. After those quick strikes, the game did kind of even out and level off just a little bit.
Who would have thought that Arkansas Pine-Bluff have 54 yards rushing in a half?
Arkansas Pine-Bluff coach, very quickly, what did you talk to your troops about at halftime about trying to get back in this ball game?
Well, the main thing we want to do is not panic. We down 21 points. Hey, if they score 28 in the first half, we can score 28 in the second half. We made some mistakes first half. We just got to come back and play our football. I think we still got a chance. I think we're still in the ball game.
Coach, we saw you in the first half stay true to form. You kept the ball on the ground. Do you expect to throw the football a little bit more in the second half?
Well, we got to throw the football a little bit more in the first half. We weren't able to get going offensively. We stayed down our territory, deep in our territory. We weren't able to do some of the things we want to do. But this second half, we feel good about it. We just got to come out and play ball.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you second half.
Thank you very much.
Head Coach Lee Hardiman. So what do you say, Don? I mean, it's almost like he had to say, I'm going to throw, huh?
Exactly. When you asked me that question, you saw a little bit of smile come on his face, like, I don't have much of a choice but to throw the football.
But I wonder how many times they've been this far behind to have to throw the football to come back.
Last week against Mississippi Valley, they threw for 182 yards, ran for 182 yards, so they did show some sort of balance last week.
Right, against the Valley. But this is Southern, and they are fired up.
And Southern gets the football first, and the return man is Ezra Landry. Landry is going to take it outside the 20-yard line to about the 21. It will be 1st and 10 for Southern.
Hey, George, how tall is Ezra Landry?
Let's see what he says here. Landry is just 5'7", 165 pound, a freshman.
So
what are you going to talk? You're talking jokes. You're talking jokes. I knew you were going to jokes. Welcome back to Black College Football, everybody. And Nate is in rare form in game 1. 1st and 10 for Southern on the 21-yard line. Levy, who was solid in the first half, going to hold on to the football, try to get to the outside. Nothing doing.
Right, that seemed like a busted play. Somebody was undecided or didn't know what to do there.
Yeah, it seemed like a curious start. Levy got the ball in the shotgun and didn't even look downfield. Looked like he was about to take off and run right away, but there was no blocking in front of him for that play.
Only Lonnie Harris.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff, you know, they talk about Doran Bolden, the big front tackle, number 98. He's got to come. He's got to make everything happen. He's got to force everything to the outside if they try to run the ball.
Levy, quick pass this time. And the ball is caught by Lionel Joseph, his first reception of the ball game. Still looking for first half stats. Individual.
And Southern's going, it's not a hurry-up offense now. It's just a no-huddle offense.
Guys running the play in.
Levy, 11 of 20, throwing the football. 3rd down and 3. Pitches it back to his deep back. And that was number 38, new name on the roster, and that's Cisco Perkins.
Cisco Perkins.
Perkins, who, much like Williams, and we talked about Williams, who had been out of football for a couple of years, Cisco was a transfer from LSU.
Right.
Big-time player back in the day. And they're still trying to find someone who can take over this running game, I would assume.
You don't have to worry about it at this point because the offensive line, Gary Jenkins, Brandon Small, Alex Brown, they're doing their job. As long as you have a decent running back and you got them hogs up front, mashing and pushing and giving you a crease, you can put anybody back there. You can put yourself back there, George, and things will happen.
You see Levy back there talking to Perkins. I would assume because Perkins missed a lot of the spring ball, he doesn't know a lot of these plays are going to keep it simple for him. And he pulled a hamstring trying to get back into shape and missed a lot of practice time, so this is one of the first times he's been on the field.
And he's hopping off the field right now, but
here he comes. Nice block. Nice block by Patrick Tyson, Gary Jenkins, those guys.
Perkins picked up, let's say, 3 yards on the carry, so it makes it 2nd down now. 7. Levy going to throw the football. This one was intended for Lewis, and Bobby Jett defensively there. And we talked about that hamstring, and it looks like it's acting up on him again.
I'll tell you one thing that happens on a night like tonight when it's so humid out. Sometimes those muscles take a lot of strain, especially in this thick mud. Muscles are working a little bit harder. I'm surprised we haven't seen more muscle strains in these conditions.
But as you can see, he's a big, thick guy in the thighs, too. I mean, he's a heavy, big-boned guy, so you would expect that.
So here it is, third down and 7. Sorry, Don. 3rd and 7. Levy, good-looking ball, intercepted this time by Barnes. And Barnes still looking for some room, and he's going backwards.
Should have just took a knee in that instance if he wasn't going to, you know, try to make any yardage or anything.
Well, that time everyone just kind of hold off because there's a penalty on the play, and it's going to be interference against Jet. I'm real impressed with the way Levy's been able to get this ball downfield, but there's the interference right there, and there's the flag. Barnes just about stepped on it.
And then Barnes looked at Pete Richardson and said, looks like Coach got his way on this one, so I might as well stop running. Johnny Barnes, who had an interception last week against Mississippi Valley State, returned it 38 yards.
You know, this is a small thing, and a lot of people wouldn't notice this. When you spat up for a game, I noticed a lot of the guys on the bluff are spatting. Now they're taking all that tape off their feet because this mud is wearing them down.
That's right.
You got to pull out till you will have those hamstring pulls.
Inside handoff to Jeremy Williams, and Williams looking for some room, and good defensive play.
That time, Darren Bolden and Lorenzo Atkins, all those guys penetrated upfield and made some plays. No room.
That's Willie Seals, number 76, right in the middle. He's the first one there. And he diverts the running back and allows his boys to come and close the gap.
Shot closes up the door on him. 3rd down situation for Levy. Good pressure. Levy gets rid of it. This time almost intercepted by Wesley.
Not a smart play by Levy. He has to have a little better presence. And knowing, in these conditions, when you don't have your feet underneath you to throw the football, eat it. Don't throw it to the other team.
So the Arkansas Pine-Bluff bought some pressure there. One of the few times they've broken through this southern line to make something happen.
You wonder what Coach Hardman said to his defense at halftime, because they have been unable to make a lot of stops against this southern team.
I think it was the same message to the offense, and that's we're still in this ball game. Don't let up any of the fire.
Big stop for them right here as they trail by 21. Got to make a stop early here in the 3rd quarter and make a statement. Here's Levy over the middle. Defensive play back there by Terrell Hemmons.
Nice play.
Hammonds, the sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas.
They have a little skirmish out there.
Levy tried to drop this ball, and this is a tough throw on any night. He just tries to drop that ball in, and Hammonds makes a nice play closing on the football.
Meanwhile, we have another penalty flag on the field, and if that's against Arkansas Pine-Bluff, I mean, they've just been shooting themselves in the foot all game long.
That's exactly what it is, and I think it goes back to, George, what you were talking about. The defense is coming out and playing a little bit more aggressively, and you're seeing 2 cases of it in the secondary, too aggressive.
You make a stop like this, and yet you give up easy yards.
As you see right there, he's breaking on the ball. It's perfect, trying to make things happen.
1st and 10, Southern.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Jaguars at the 45-yard line, and thanks to a penalty, they still live. Jeremy Williams is the lone setback, and he'll take the handoff and nothing doing. The big guy, Harris, makes the play.
Time Harris is shooting the gap.
He just knifes right down in there. Athletic guy can run, meets William in the backfield, and he lets loose the ball. He's just a little early in getting his knee down, but that would have been a fumble. Big play by Harris. Don't freak out yet, Harris. That's one play. It doesn't make the player.
Well, they call themselves the Hellraisers, the defensive line of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Time for them to raise a little bit here.
Yeah, you know, see they're going to dance a little ice water on the Hellraisers.
And another sack. This time it's Lorenzo Akins coming up with the big play.
We've got another flag. This time it looks like it's going to go against Southern. But you mentioned Aiken coming off the corner, showing a little bit of speed now. Arkansas Southern staying in that shotgun and giving the defensive front a little bit of a bead on where Levy's going to be standing.
That ball, personal foul against the offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
It looks like Arkansas Pine-Bluff is starting to blitz a little more, trying to put some games in there. They know that they have to take a chance and put some pressure on the quarterback of Southern.
So now it's 3rd down and 33 for Terrence Levy.
Calling the play, Don.
You call it, Don. football. And Bolden was there to make the tackle.
Bolden is a nice player, good guy. He's the leader of that defense, and he needs to pick his game up to make sure that they can stop Southern here, because that would take away some of Southern's fire and rhythm.
So thanks to the penalty, they do move the football back, and they'll have good field position when they get it back.
And, you know, that's attributed to those other calls we talked about. Pine-Bluff playing a little bit aggressively, but it kind of paid it off for him.
Bobby Jett back deep to receive the punt. Don't let that one bounce at the 40. You know you're not getting a whole lot of bounces in this football game, huh?
No, not in the Quagmire.
9:56 left here in our third quarter. Arkansas Pine-Bluff with the football, but trailing by 21. Southwest Airlines Black College Football Game of the Week. Southern playing host to Arkansas Pine-Bluff. It's been all Jaguars in this one. Just under 10 minutes left here in the third quarter. George Johnson along with Nate Milton, Don McPherson.
Don, right here. If they don't make anything on Arkansas, if they don't move the ball well here, do you think about a quarterback change?
And looks like he may have completed this pass. It is complete. Big time play, big time catch by Mark Bradley. He was rolling to the left. That's a tough throw to make.
Under pressure.
That is a very tough throw for Powell, the quarterback. The good thing was that he had plenty of room down the field. Once again, in these slick conditions, people slide. It's hard to change directions, and he gets plenty of room, does Bradley, to work out there in space.
Did you see that 6 pounds of turf that jumped up in the air when he got that cut? First and 10. After the Bradley play, they're still going in the air, and another complete pass. And once again, it's Mark Bradley. And you said last week he had 100 yards receiving on just 3 catches. So he can make the big play.
There's nice protection up front by the Pine-Bluff.
And you wonder what Pine-Bluff's going to do in the second half when Coach Hartman says, I'm going to throw the football. He's come out in 2 plays and thrown the football, 2 big plays. Now they're inside knocking on the door.
And the O-line did a nice job. They picked up some good stunts in there up in the middle to keep the pocket deep.
So Bradley with receptions of 33 and 8 yards, and all of a sudden Arkansas Pine-Bluff knocking on the door. And this is the quarterback keeper. Runs it up the middle to about the 15-yard line, and good enough for a first down.
I tell you, when you get 2 big plays like that and you go with the quarterback draw, what you have now is a defense that's just giving up 40, 50 yards. They're coming to the line of scrimmage. They're all looking left and right. They're not looking at the quarterback. That's a great play on 2 big plays that get you into the red zone.
I agree with you, Don, because now these guys have pinned their ears back on the defense and say, I'm going to get up there. And the quarterback took advantage of it.
So here's our formation, that 3-back set. McKissick is your deep back. Powell looked like he wanted to get it to him. And he's just going to hold on to the football and be run out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage.
Smart play, smart play. But did he get it first like me went out a little early?
And that was a design run all the way. A play they had some success with in the first half.
Ball out at the 15-yard line still. Actually, he may have lost a yard on that. Yeah. So this is where now there's room for you to make some things happen because you're deep in your opponent's territory.
You got the end zone to help you. The Southern now, they can play a little bit loose because they got the end zone to help them, especially your DBs.
Second down. This time they give it to McKissick, and McKissick is stopped maybe after a yard gain there. Looked like Lendrick Francois was there to make the tackle.
Yeah, we came in with the opening saying, hey, you know, thunder and lightning. But right now, it's like Southern linebackers is bringing the thunder and lightning.
And the conditions continue to get worse on this field. Then again, we saw it starting to deteriorate during warm-up.
That's right. And it actually has stayed fairly dry for most of the ball game, but this field just does not drain well at all.
It's interesting. Yesterday, Lee Hardman told us, he said, if it gets bad out there, it's our advantage because we run downfield all the time. Touchdown, Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And boy, how they let the receiver get the ball.
For the score.
Beautiful touch right there by Powell. Very nice touch on the football. You wonder if he can throw the football. You say he's a guy, Michael, the guy who runs the ball well, but he just does excellent touch on his football. Just a quick 2.5, 3-step drop, and just a nice
They took advantage of the defensive back, D'Angelo Lewis.
You know, on that play, Southern defensive line was running games, but Arkansas Pine-Bluff offensive line held in there real well, gave good protection so you can stand tall in the back. And Gary Walls came just sneaks over the crossbar, but pulls the clock within 14 right after this.
Comes back out here in the second half and puts together a nice little scoring drive, 6 plays, 64 yards, and it took just 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And Powell, DeMar Bradley, and Bradley with the touchdown catch of 22 yards. And you can see that Southern looks great
at his defensive coordinator, and he's making his presence better. He's not saying anything nice.
You gotta stay focused. Stay focused.
Southern Athletics also wasn't used of directional ability.
We didn't execute. Now, when we go back out there, we going right back at them, and we better not give up one down play. I never give up something. It's the opportunity. Give the goddamn call. If you ain't zone, give a zone goddamn call. Don't give no damn man call. That ain't supposed to happen.
Let's not listen to that. That's not.
Hey, man, that makes you want to get out the booth, go back to the field, don't it?
We got to get
Flashbacks coming back. As Southern coming right back on the return is Ezra Landry, and he has returned the ball well this year, or this game, excuse me. As he takes it out past the 25-yard line, where Southern will take over 1st and 10 when we get back. He was put together 258 total yards with the football. Levy under pressure and a big play by Barnes, the linebacker, to knock that one loose.
And George, this is the second time we've seen this from Levy, trying to force the ball in there. He didn't really have much. He had some pressure in his face, and he was losing his footing. He has to learn to pull this ball down. Not a well-advised throw. And that time, Joyner almost came up with the pick.
And when you have young guys like that, even though he's been there, you have young guys like that, sometimes they get happy, you know, they're ahead, they want to make things happen. The coach got to pull him to the side and say, settle down. Don't turn the game over.
Look at your passing yard difference. As Terrence Meady is 12 of 25. And now, after penalty, it looked like they marked off 5 yards against Arkansas Pine-Bluff on that play. A play that they were almost able to create a turnover. It's Southern now with a 1st and 5 and another whistle.
That ball, delay a game, only yard pass, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And Terrence Levy was looking to the sideline all the time before the snap of the football. He's looking to the sideline for the play. Again, let the guy play football. Stop talking to him so much. Stop trying to talk to him from the sideline. Let him play football.
Jeremy Williams is your deep back in the I formation behind Terrence Levy. And Levy, the look downfield. And again, Barnes in position. Good coverage by Bobby Jett as the pass was intended for Devin Lewis.
The defensive coordinator, Marty Stewart, for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, has went in, made some adjustments, and a lot of times that can turn the game around when your defensive coordinator come in, make the proper adjustments.
Good coverage down the field, and this ball definitely is not catchable for anyone out there, but the difference was in the back. Once again, Aiken, the defensive end, was right in Levy's face.
And you notice they're keeping the safety over the top, the double, the deep receiver going. So that is another adjustment they made. They're coming out of that man-to-man defense.
3rd and 10. This time they dump it out into the flat. And Jeremy Williams makes the catch and gets close to a 1st down. He may be a yard shy as they'll mark it at the 35.
And Williams has to recognize where that 1st down marker is. He can't stop and dance. He stops and dance right there. Lower your head and go get that 1st down. That time he danced, stood himself up, and came up short on the 1st down.
Big time play here. 4th down. Let's see if the Golden Lions can make the stop. And I don't think they did. I think Jeremy Williams got the 1st down.
They came off that left side of the line with Gary Jenkins over there and made a nice block.
Boy, that was a gutsy ball by Pete Richardson.
That was a nice run by the running back. He waited. They blitzed from that side, waited till the blitz ran past him and cut up in there behind his blockers. So Jeremy Williams made a nice run.
If he hadn't made the first down, that would have given Arkansas Pine-Bluff the ball in great field position with a chance to cut that lead to 7. And that's why I said it was so gutsy.
There's no question about it. Both of these coaches are playing and telling their teams with these types of decisions that they're playing to win, and the players sense that, and they back that up.
So it's time for another commercial break, but Southern still holding on to the ball with 6:46 left here in our third. In large part to the play of their quarterback, Kendrick Powell. Showing the ability to run the football. That's what earned him the starting spot. First on the quarterback sneak up the middle, then getting out of trouble, and then the 15-yard smooth pass to Mark Bradley.
And remember, it was Powell's arm that got him into that position for those 3 plays. One long pass to Bradley.
But now it's up to the defense to try to make a stop here, make a statement, and look at John Barnes getting the backfield right there and make contact with Jeremy Williams before he can get to the line of scrimmage.
And talking to Marty Stewart, he said that is his leader. He puts him everywhere. He makes a lot of plays. They expect for him to make 10-plus tackles a game because they put him in a position to make plays.
I think he's starting to look a little bit like Jamal Ware, number 2 Alabama A&M, who I saw last year.
Oh, yeah.
When you talk about Alabama A&M, you talk about one of the best defenses in the conference. They and Graham the chief representatives in the title game last year, getting there thanks to defense. But now it's been Southern's offense trying to move the football against the Golden Lions. That pass is incomplete.
And you can say that Devin Lewis didn't want to go inside, but Devin Lewis read zone coverage. He tried to sit down. Terrence Levy read man coverage and was trying to throw him into the linebackers.
So here's a 3rd down situation. Sorry, Nate.
No, I was going to ask Dunn, what do you do with the young quarterback? You call a timeout or you just let him work through?
Well, that time, they both have to read it. See, the same thing is happening now is that they both have to read the defense and they both have to recognize where the ball needs to be thrown. Levy is an experienced guy. He's a veteran. He's not a guy that you have to pull aside and say that you have to start to read coverages. You have to be able to read inside and see that his guy's being played man coverage on the outside, and the linebackers are running man coverage as well.
And how about Bobby Jett, who's come out here in the second half and come up with some fine defensive plays on Devin Lewis when Dante Wesley struggled with him a little bit. And now Bobby is back to receive the punt. He's going to let this one bounce. And finally, we see a little roll there on the punt. As it gets inside the 25-yard line, going to be downed at the 21-yard line. Nice little kick by Villagrano, a 42-yarder. This has been a real good football game between these 2 teams from the SWAC, but how about next week? Tennessee State, Jackson State go at it again, the Southern Heritage Bowl. Always an exciting time down in Memphis, Tennessee. Here's Arkansas Pine-Bluff now with the football, trailing by 14 as they give it inside to Ron Johnson. And Johnson picks up a couple.
And the Southern defense is giving them nowhere to go. They're filling the gaps. They're shooting their linebackers. Things have been happening all day for Southern defense. They've been playing great. They got chewed out by Coach earlier, and they seem to pick up the pace.
Well, Pine-Bluff right now is going to have to throw the football. The time is starting to run out. Now they're getting close to 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. They're going to have to start making something happen pretty quickly.
I formation behind Powell. Your deep back is Ron Johnson. Big-time defensive play by Robert Chapman.
All day.
We saw Chapman earlier time that just right. They come up and just right. Once again, and Powell doesn't stand a chance to get his eyes downfield.
And Nate, this coming from a man, and you've been raving about Chapman all week, a guy who has a grade point average of 3.8 in biology, a tremendous student and a good football player.
I mean, you can take my sophomore year and freshman year GPA and put it together and can't get as high as this guy, man. You know what? Hey, I majored in something, but not everything.
He's pursuing to get into medical malpractice law.
Yeah.
He's going to law.
Oh, he's going to law.
And he showed what the law was on that last play.
Bringing the law with it. A guy like that get a look on the next level just because he's intelligent. They think he can do a lot of different things, you know. And right there, he made a super play.
Of course, talking about number 43, Robert Chapman.
Do you think Coach Pete is, he got that look like, are we winning, are we losing? You don't know what's going on with this guy. Coach Smile.
That's the look of a seasoned veteran coach. You got great guys like that out there in the field for you. You can sit back and kind of play this chess match.
Third down, a long 23. They tried that quick out pattern. And it's that Chapman again. He's that Chapman again. He's
Look at him. He's moving there. He drops back. He keys in. He zeroes in. He brings arms, legs, head, and everything into that play. It's his world.
You can tell he has good instincts back there. He follows the football. He gets to the football. He's not designed to be on either side of the field, but he gets to where the plays are.
So Wall will punt to Landry. And Landry may have some room to make something happen as he's standing at about his 42-yard line. So they'll get good field position after this.
Nice punt. Good bounce.
Landry gonna pick it up, gonna run, gonna get inside enemy territory, down to about the 42.
That's a brave young man right there.
Yes, he is.
That's a brave young man. That's a dangerous ball to pick up off the hop like that, especially on the surface, not knowing where it's gonna go.
But you know, he's not a very tall guy, and I don't want to say that I don't want to use that other word, but you know, he's down there where he can get to it.
39-yard punt, 10-yard return. And Southern going to get right to the line of scrimmage and run plays. They've been doing this all game long. I formation behind Terrence Levy. Levy pitches it to his tailback, Jeremy Williams, who's been finding small portions of daylight and making some things happen when he does.
But the more they hand him the ball, the better his confidence is going to get, and the offensive line is going to start to find their rhythm as the game go on, and they keep this lead, and the Bluff start blitzing and stunting, and then he'll find a crease and he'll take it.
Second down, 7.
Keep in mind that Southern lost its top 3 running backs of a year ago. So Jeremy Williams, who on the fake, with a little motion, and Levy has his pass intercepted. And the defense for Arkansas, Pine-Bluff still coming up with the plays. This time, Terrell Hammonds with the interception.
We talked about that ball getting slick, and if it's not on the chest, it's going to be difficult to catch. That really is no excuse, but there have been a number of drops for Southern tonight.
2:23 left, and Arkansas, Pine-Bluff still with life.
That slide is very little, but it's there.
Levy's going to get a stat in his column that says interception, but Guyan has to make that catch. The ball's a little high, it's a little wobbly, but he has to pull that ball down. It's a catchable ball, and those kinds of mistakes are going to allow Arkansas Pine-Bluff to erode at this Southern lead.
And Terrell Hammonds with his second interception of the season already.
Yeah, I like that word, erode.
And
Oh, boy, that was sweet.
And there's Michael Shack, the junior from Little Rock, who was a little shaken up on the play. Their middle linebacker, and they can ill afford to lose him the way they're playing defense here in the second half. As the Bluff giving it inside to Johnson, and Johnson finding little room.
Johnson carries. Stop by the right lane of Southern.
Get the sense after that first drive by Pine-Bluff that their offense has stalled a little bit.
Yeah, but they still have to pick up the pace. You have to come out of the huddle quick. You got to run things. You don't panic, but you move with a little bit of urgency. You know, they get the rhythm back.
Here's Powell on second down. Oh, and just past the outstretched arms of his tight end, Philip Doolin, the big-time athlete for this club.
The first chance to get a look at Doolin, the tight end, they say he's built like a running back, but runs like a receiver, and just outside the stretched hands of Doolin, who could have gone the distance. You know, Nate, you bring up a good point. Arkansas Pine-Bluff is down 14 points, 2 scores, and they're going into the huddle. They're taking their time. On the other side, Southern's up 2 scores, and they're going no huddle. They're keeping the pace. They're keeping the tempo up.
So here's Powell on third down. Again, looking downfield for his receiver. This one was thrown out of bounds. It was intended for number 15, Divorce Pilcher.
Well, you know, when you got a situation like that, a dominant running team, I wonder how much time in practice do they spend throwing. You know, you do have to throw if you're a running team sometime in this situation especially. So you do have to practice, and I just wonder how much time they've spent throwing those fades and deep balls down the seams.
And what they do spend time on, the running team, is how to get back in the ball game with the pass game. Well, if you need to get back in the ball game with the pass game, the defense knows it. So they're going to lay back on those long deep balls.
So now on 4th down and 8, Wall will punt the football. Landry. And he better get away from that football. That's a dangerous situation when your return man starts running around the football and uncertain about what he's going to do with it.
He wants to make a play, but he knows if he fumbles that ball, boy, you better go in nowhere near Coach Graves. It will be ugly.
We got 3 linebackers down there.
Right here.
Yeah.
Hey, see that? Hey, Junior. Oh, man, look, hey, when they give us pros, okay? Hey, they give us pros. We got the Eagle, the Oak, and the Drop. You guys can take those 2 back. Help out down the middle. Okay? Listen.
So here's Southern on 1st down. And Williams trying to get to the outside, and the flag is thrown, and you got a feeling that it's probably going to have something to do with a face mask or something of that nature.
I tell you. Right now, all the defense can do is get selfish. You know, when I was playing ball with the Cowboys, our defense sometime in a situation like this would get selfish and just take the game on their shoulders and say, hey, we got to turn it. We got to get a turnover. We got to make the play. We got to get an interception, take it to the house ourselves. Right now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff got to get selfish. The defense has got to take over.
Face match on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Still 1st down.
So it was inadvertent, so they didn't get the 15-yard penalty.
Nice call, George.
So what you're saying is he didn't take his head off. He just jerked it a little bit.
He just jerked him a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Just wanted to get his attention.
Okay. They got to play smart here. They got to play aggressive, but they got to be smart. They got to calculate every risk, every rush, every blitz, every game to fall in their favor.
1st and 5 after the penalty. Levy gives it to Jeremy Williams. Williams drags a couple of defenders for a couple of yards before falling down close to a 1st down. O.B. James, the linebacker, is the first one to hit him. And Jeremy, kind of a personable young man. You talked to him yesterday, Nate.
Just
took
good
some
guy.
time to talk to him.
Yeah, and I told him keep his head up. You know, stay consistent, work with his offensive line, try to take as many snaps as he can because things will break. I mean, he wouldn't be on this level if the coach didn't feel he could play.
No, he takes the handoff again and picks up about a yard.
You know, I'm going to tell you when you can tell when the defense is starting to feel a little depressed and like things ain't going their way. Just start counting the guys that's putting their hand on their hips.
Right. The other thing that Southern not huddling is not allowing Arkansas Pine-Bluff not to huddle.
Right.
So what's happening, these guys can't regroup and do exactly what things you're talking about.
Second down and 9, and Levy trying to make a move, trying to avoid the defender, and unable to get away
from Ezell
that
Davis.
linebacker, Ezell Davis.
And the coach said about him, if his mind is right, he can be one of the better players. But sometimes they have to give him little perks, mess with his mind, put him on the bench, not let him play, get on him, run extra laps just to get his mind right. If a kid like him with his athletic ability get his mind right, things can happen. He's made several nice plays tonight.
Davis said earlier on this week to the press that he wanted his defense to just fly around. And they need to make some plays as they trail by 14. More right after this. Along with Don McPherson and Nate Newton, we are live from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and bringing you the Southern Arkansas Pine-Bluff matchup. A battle in the SWAC. Southern playing its first conference game of the season and leading by 14, and Kentrell playing with a catch over the middle near midfield.
And that's the difference between a team that's used to throwing the ball all the time. They have more options, more receivers out there in the pattern. And that time, Nate, you love this, the great protection.
Oh, yes.
And a great catch by Kentrell playing. That time, he used his hands, he twisted his body.
That's deflating to the defense for them to open up like this in the 4th and just throw that nice pass. I mean, that hurts the defense.
And yet the defense is able to create a turnover as they get the fumble. inside to Antonio Williams, and the defense forces the fumble and recovers.
I like it. Tyrone Walker made a play there, huh? Is that him? Oh, yes.
Hard to see where the strip came from.
But again, not hard to see Terrell Hammonds on the spot. So he gets the interception a couple of series ago, then recovers the fumble. So defensively, he's stepping up large for his club.
And now his offense has to respond, see this opportunity, and seize it.
Here's Powell being forced out of the pocket, lost possession of the football.
He threw it, though. It was going forward pass.
Oh, boy, that's a tough call.
Yeah.
The officials
That's
say
a tough
forward.
call.
Chris Cooper was in on him. He came right up the middle.
And the ball went up in the air, straight up in the air, so that will tell you that at least his hand was coming up above his head. But that ball was so
As you can
slick.
see, Chris Cooper blitzes right up the middle, runs through the block of the tailback, and he tries to throw. Powell does, and it goes straight up.
I don't know if Powell's hand was going forward on that. Of course, we have the advantage of the instant replay and the ISO. And
So what do you say to your quarterback who runs away from the football as it starts lying on the ground like that? Here's Powell again, going to throw the football. Intercepted and dropped. And the ball's still loose. And then Arkansas, Pine-Bluff get it back. Yes!
Bradley been making big plays all day and just made another one. He's the only guy that can catch that ball for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and he will find it.
And he wants some stick-em. He wants something put on them gloves.
No stick 'em. That's illegal. That's illegal. He needs a good towel there.
get this stuff off my hands.
He got to stick 'em all that mud out there.
Well, obviously this ball shouldn't have been thrown by Powell, but then you got to tuck it away.
And look at Bradley. He comes hunting the ball, man, and his determination and will, and he gets there and gets on top of it. Good play by Bradley.
Eddie Woods is the Southern player who made the interception and couldn't hold on to the football. And now Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Charles Ray jumped.
And you can't let your senior do that.
Oh, man, the big leader jump. If he loses it, the line turns to jelly.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
If I'm Lee Hartman right now, I'm going to call a timeout. I want to get my team together and regroup. Here we are with 14 minutes left in the ball game. We've seen a lot of 2 turnovers real quick, a lot of crazy things going on. Settle this team down. Keep him charged up, but settle his team down right now because they have to make something happen.
This just one of a couple of big SWAC battles. Another one being played today, Grambling. Alabama A&M going at it third quarter. This is a rematch of last year's SWAC championship game seen here on BET. And you'll see this year's again here on BET is Pine-Bluff trying to go downfield and another defensive penalty and pass interference.
This Mark Bradley keeps coming up big, and that's what any coach would tell you, that I'm sure Don would agree. They keep running, make something happen. Once the ball hit the air, anything can happen. Pass interference, or you can come up with a big play.
And that's a tough call. Jamari Williams is really starting to stumble around there in the mud, and that really wasn't much of a touch. I tell you, these officials really like that flag when they see any kind of contact in the secondary.
Well, don't you know that they realize that they, too, are on BET? And they have families out there that want to be, you know.
Yeah, to the previous spot, first down.
So again, thanks to a little luck, Arkansas Pine-Bluff moving the football downfield. They got the football back after an interception and a drop, and now get a big play on the pass interference call inside the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. And Powell going to throw. Here comes the pressure. And Powell gets away from the pressure. Throwing downfield. No one in the area. We could say Bradley, I guess, was about 5-10 yards away.
And we haven't called Michael Landry's name very much in the second half of this ball game, but here he comes.
Right over Charles Ray, makes a good outside power move up the field, flushes out the quarterback, and here you have it.
And you guys were talking about possibly, if they weren't going to move the ball offensively, maybe a change of quarterback at someone that was more of a pocket passer like Roger Lynn. But it's that kind of play that keeps Powell on the field.
Absolutely. A pocket passer right now would be getting killed.
We would be asking Charles Ray, hey, homie, you all SWAC. Live up. Live up.
So here we are, 2nd down and 10. Again, the blitz. This time, Powell not going to get away from it. And coming in to make the play.
There's
Big number 43, Jeremy Hayes. Actually, check that. That was not Jeremy. That was Robert Chapman.
Once again, is taking over the game. There's only a few guys in any league that can take over a game, and this guy here has made up his mind. That's what he want to do.
Well, they're just bringing more people than Pine-Bluff can block. They're bringing the house off the corner. They've got more people coming than Pine-Bluff can keep in to block.
A loss of 7 on the play. So that'll make it 3rd down and long as you get a good look at Robert Chapman on the sideline.
Looking at his fingernail.
All that, I said fingernail.
Yeah, all that punishment he's dishing out. He thinks he hurt a fingernail.
And now a timeout on the field. And are we getting to the point yet, gentlemen, where you're in 4-down territory? I mean, if they don't get the first down here, you still trail by 2 touchdowns, but you are in Southern's territory. Do you go for it on 4th down now?
I think you're looking at another possession before Pine-Bluff starts to think that way.
Time for another commercial break. When we get back, we'll sort this thing out from Baton Rouge. So we're back. 4th quarter action. 13-20 left in this football game in Arkansas Pine-Bluff. He trails by 2 touchdowns with a 3rd down and 8.
All they need is one big play. One big play can just turn this game around.
And they're looking to get the screen. And they got it to their wide receiver, Mark Bradley, but Bradley found little to no room.
That is not Chapman. No, it isn't.
Just got past the line of scrimmage, making it now 4th down, and it looks like they're bringing the punting unit out on the field.
Outstanding defensive coverage all over the field by Southern. They had guys in every position to make a play, and that time an outstanding open field tackle by Joshua Davis.
Oh, nice. That's the defensive end making a nice open field tackle. That shows athletic ability.
You know, Joshua said in the offseason he was pushing cars around to get ready. He said, if I can push a caddy, I can push an offensive lineman.
I hear that, man. That don't say much about the weight room, does it?
They tried a little fake punt there, snapped it to the up back, who is nowhere near 1st down territory as they snapped it to Crawford. He may have picked up 5 yards, but that's it. And they needed 18. So just 12 and a half minutes left here in this football game. Southern still in control.
Right here, you see they go with the fake punt, the up back. He tries to get up in there, but Southern's not having it. They just close down on him and takes the play away from him. But right there, if you're going to try a trick play, do something that's going to get you downfield. That's going to break the game open. I mean, a fake punt right here.
Up the middle?
They should have just stayed in the regular offensive formation and ran the play.
Meanwhile, Levy's going to stay in the shotgun formation. Jeremy Williams, another loose ball on the turf.
There ain't no floor, bro. This ain't the way this field looks. It can't be a floor.
And John Barnes came out of that pile upset. I think he thought he had a chance at that football. Once again, we're here live from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Southern playing host to Arkansas Pine-Bluff. George Johnson, along with Nate Newton and Don McPherson and our BET crew here, bringing you black college football. Terrence Levy and his Jaguars have been in control, going downfield, looking for more, and Dante Wesley this time defensively there to make a play.
Dante Wesley has had a so-so game up to this point, and he has the interception, but Darren Lewis has made some big plays on him. Devin Lewis, excuse me.
Dante and Devin are pro prospects. I mean, the scouts are coming out to practice and seeing both these guys, watching them both. And I would assume that they may have a chance to get paid to play this sport.
But what I'm saying is you can't afford on this level to have a bad day.
Right.
On the next level, maybe, but not on this level.
Once you already got that contract signed, huh?
Thank you.
All right. Trying to get to the outside with Jeremy Williams on 3rd down and about 6. And I think he's close to a 1st down. You cannot let them pick up 1st downs running the football.
Yes, a curious series of plays. They run the ball conservatively the first time, then they throw the ball deep, and now they try this little toss sweep out of the shotgun to try to get the ball, pick up 7 yards for a 1st down. And Southern needs to get back to a rhythm if they're going to maintain. Now, on the other side, Pine-Bluff's really not doing much offensively, so there's not a lot of concern, but they need to get back to a rhythm and wear this clock down.
I agree. wholeheartedly.
Well, if you throw the football downfield, gentlemen, and they're starting to think that, it makes it a lot easier, opens it up, I would assume, to be able to sneak that running game by.
But when you have a wide open attack, which Coach Orlando runs, you can come underneath now even more because they are loose. They playing a deep zone, so you just come underneath and control it with the pass.
They need to throw the ball where receivers are coming back to the quarterback, where they're allowed to show him his numbers and get first downs.
He gets that first down right there.
So, you know, that's why we're up here doing the analyst, and he's down there calling the plays.
Boy, it is a muddy, muddy day. It rained a little earlier today. Yesterday it was dry. It didn't rain, and yet the field, you could tell that it was very soggy and turf. Yeah. And we knew that if it rained at all today, it was going to be tough on these ball players. Here's Jeremy Williams. And once again, John Barnes shooting the gap to slow him down a little bit.
You know, I wonder about Southern. They have a lot of guys. They've played Daniels, the freshman. They've played Alex Brown. You can't get any continuity if you keep playing different guys. And they got to find somebody to stay in there so you can establish a running game, because the offensive line has to have continuity. They have to know where the help is coming from.
Second down. Williams just shy of the line of scrimmage on that carry, so we'll make it 11. They give it inside again to Williams, and Williams again just getting to the line of scrimmage with that carry.
Darren Collins came and made a nice play. Last week he had 9 tackles. This week here he's probably got 30.
And look at the field before the start of the ball game, and you can still see there was some mud on the side, and they hadn't even played yet.
This field does not have a crown on it where the water can run off. A month ago they changed the grass in the middle of the field, and they took away the crown. They need a natural crown so the water can run off.
Well, Ricardo Garcia, defensively, number 50, getting in there and making a play on a third down situation. And now Southern, faced with 4th and about 15, going to be forced to punt it again as you look at this mud on the sidelines.
But, you know, Southern is acting like that's natural for them. It hasn't even fazed these guys. But on the other hand, Arkansas Pine-Bluff, it seems like it's a big hindrance to them.
Well, they had to play in the mud last week against Northwestern State, talking about Southern, a game in which they lost. So they're a little accustomed to what this field is all about. Villagrano's punt stops dead. Just dead at the 25.
I told you, like a Tiger Woods sandwich.
Is a stick on. We'll be back. Southern University, George Johnson, Don McPherson, and the Pioneer. Big Nate. Newton.
Thank you. I'm a junior, though. I'm a junior, Dad. We don't mean no disrespect. I'm a junior.
Not at all. The pageantry that is college football, black college football in particular. So Arkansas Pine-Bluff will have the football, trailing by 14 as you look at the total yards. And it's really been all Southern when you look at the numbers, and yet Arkansas Pine-Bluff kind of hanging around there. Still need to make a big play offensively if they want to get back in this. Powell being flushed. Powell gets away from danger. And his pass is short. And that'll make it 2nd down and 10.
That's Cooper.
And Southern has just been playing with their motors running just a little bit faster than Pine-Bluff.
Chris Cooper came right up the middle, made the play, flushed him out, made him throw off his heels.
As you get a good look at the Kendrick Powell, transferred from Delta Community College. Amassed 236 total yards last week against Mississippi Valley State. A little tougher though, a little different defense. As evidenced by that play right there. There's Robert Chapman out in the flat. You would think they would stay away from him now.
You know what? Robert Chapman just has a nose for the football. He plays that position in the middle and just has the speed to get into the perimeter and make big plays.
Some guys are born with the instinct, and this guy has it. Absolutely. And it's called killer.
But you know, last year, injury-plagued season for him. He hobbled throughout most of it. So you know he's hungry coming back
Yeah, taking them deep breaths, standing tall, letting them know. You like one of them old guys you had when you had them old football games everybody used to move around on? Yeah, bro, just a real ball player.
Here's Powell on 3rd and long. And the defensive back slipped, but the ball was thrown too long.
And the receiver slipped. They were fortunate there.
Cody Smith was trying to make a play.
DeVorest Pilcher was the intended receiver.
As you can see, Southern players are running onto the field, and Arkansas Pine-Bluff players are walking onto the field.
Exactly.
Somebody's got to spark this Pine-Bluff team.
Ezra Landry, again standing back to receive the punt by Aaron Walls, who has punted 7 times, averaging 35 yards a punt. This one is not a bad kick. Good spiral. Landry takes it at the 37-yard line and works his way up close to midfield. Let's say it's a 12-yard return off the punt by Aaron Wall.
I wouldn't mind seeing little Landry break one, man. I mean, a little guy like that, I want to see what his speed is really like, you know what?
8:13 left here in the football game. Time for the Golden Lions to play a little D. This football game of the week, and Southern leads 28-14. In this fourth quarter, been a comedy of errors. The Kendrick Powell, they said that was a pass, an incomplete one, and Dawn questioned that. And then it's the interception right here by Southern. They lose the ball, and how about Mark Bradley getting it back for the Golden Lions? But Robert Chapman has been the star, especially here in the second half defensively for Southern with the sack right there.
You know, if I had a team like Madden, this guy would be my first guy. You know, he would be my hero today, bro. He just a down and dirty, getting nasty, playing great football. The guy's, 6 tackles, 2 sacks? Outstanding.
Why don't you give him one of your chicken legs? I know you couldn't eat all of them.
Oh, no, we ain't sharing that.
Jeremy Williams with the carry on 1st and 10 for Southern, as they'll take their time now with the clock rolling under 8 minutes left.
Jerry Williams is not doing nothing outstanding, but he's just keeping the clock, getting a yard here, a yard there, not losing anything, just staying steady.
He's run for 39 yards so far in this football game. Just keeping the ball going forward. Here he is off the swing pass. And gets it inside Golden Lions territory, close to the 45-yard line, short of a first down by about 4 yards.
You know, at some point, both coaches on both sides of the field are going to be talking about conditioning. And Southern, at this point, looks like the well-conditioned team.
Now they're just going to bunch folks up, but boy, what a little fake. He dropped the football. It was a great call, great formation.
Pine-Bluff brought everybody. Kitchen sink, pipes, bats, and everything. It almost got burnt.
And Devin Lewis couldn't make the catch.
And Devin Lewis is going to be kicking himself, and so is Levy. Or Levy gets clean on this play. Devin Lewis, all he has to do is catch the football and walk to the end zone.
You know, he has made harder catches tonight.
Exactly right.
than that one.
You know, his eyes got big. He saw gold, man. He saw gold. Look at him kicking himself. He saw gold.
That was on a 3rd down and 4. So now Bobby Jett will stand inside his own 20-yard line as Villagrano will punt the football.
Coming to the sideline for some reason.
So we've got a timeout on the field.
Look at that ball. It's soaked. It's heavy.
You know, I've listened to you all game, Don. Talk about heavy balls, soaked.
You got to remember, he played in a dome at Syracuse.
Okay.
It was just smooth all the time. Out for the rest of the season. I mean, how good was this guy? 80 catches last year, 15 touchdowns, had at least 1 touchdown reception in every game he played last season. They were expecting big things from this young man, but now he'll try to get a medical red shirt and come back next year. And how about that one, folks? Big time hit by Southern on Bobby Jett, and that was Kendrick Paul who lowered the boom.
Earlier in the game, he had a miscue, and this one here really cost him.
I don't know if you call this one a miscue as much as Paul just laying the wood to him, and the timing is perfect. Doesn't give him a chance to tuck that ball away. He just gave it up.
Maybe Jet was just pushing, you know, say, hey, I need to catch the ball and get away and make a big play, but you have to tuck that thing in and make sure you have it in your arms first.
And that really hurt this football team. With 6:54 left, the turnovers. Southern has turned the ball over. 7 turnovers in this football game, and a lot, of course, has to do with the weather. As Jeremy Williams tries to get to the outside, and defensively, Darren Collins drags him down.
Little scuffle going on there.
Got another flag on the play here. This one's not going to be the scuffle. I think it might be a...
The penalty is going to go against Southern. But Arkansas Pine-Bluff has had their opportunities in this football game. We can't say that they haven't done anything. I mean, they've had some nice field position, and things seem to stall. Have you been happy with the play calling of Arkansas Pine-Bluff? Coach told us he'd throw the football in the second half.
And he came out in the beginning of the second half, threw 2 consecutive passes, and then had a nice touchdown to Bradley, and then after that, he kind of went back, and the pass game was a little anemic after that. Not much going on.
We're creatures of habit. And the habit for Arkansas Pine-Bluff is to run the ball. Rain, shine, or sleep.
Meanwhile, Southern scored all 28 points in the first half and really haven't had to do much here in the second half. As Levy completes his pass to Lewis. Now, see, that was a harder catch.
It's just amazing. That was probably the most difficult catch all night. And he pulled it in with relative ease.
Because he's thinking and concentrating and focused now that, hey, I missed a great opportunity.
That is a very difficult football to catch when it's going behind you, and sliding and falling down at the same time.
So after the pickup,
you know, I was just thinking, I would hate to see Southern on some good turf. Some good turf, and boy, they can fly.
So third down now, and actually check that. Yeah, it is third down and 14. Levy giving it to Williams, and Bobby Jett leading the troops. There's John Barnes also involved. Got another update on that score from that Alabama A&M Grambling game, where Grambling came in, and they're the SWAC preseason favorites to win this thing, and in control over Alabama A&M 27-7 with under 5 minutes left in their football game. So Grambling and Doug Williams continuing their winning ways after winning the SWAC championship last year. Right here on BET.
Great for Doug.
Great for Doug.
Yes. But it will be a game play later on in the year versus Southern.
And you think that this Southern team is much improved, despite the fact that they lost Hayes and now Travion Jobert, their 2 top receivers, and still got a good squad.
I think they have a solid squad, and they needed this game.
5:11 left here in our football game. Be right back. And welcome back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. George Johnson, Nate Newton, and Don McPherson, as well as the rest of our BET crew. And you look at that beautiful press box in the background. They spent millions. They just opened it up. We're one of the lucky ones to be a part of it. As you look at the remaining schedule for Southern, they got Prairie View next week. And then you got to get ready for Alabama State, who just loves to throw that football thanks to L.C. Cole. Tulane will be a tough football game. And then they face that tough defensive unit from Alabama A&M.
Don't jump over them. You can't jump over them now. Okay.
And now here's Villagrano, who's going to attempt a field goal, this one from 38 yards out. And the kick is up, and the kick is no good.
No good.
Villagrano, who has shown the ability to kick field goals in the past, although that was his first attempt of the season. So it's still now 28-14 with 5:04 left. And
so, John, why aren't you coming to the rescue of this kicker with the ball being heavy and slick and all of this? So no respect for the kicker.
Very very muddy Southern University, the kind of conditions that you would think you wouldn't be able to generate much offense, and yet Southern has been able to do so. 322 total yards, 225 in the air, and 143 of those going to Devin Lewis, who had 8 receptions. So Southern has been able to do some things offensively in this game, though they haven't scored in the second half. Here's Arkansas Pine-Bluff trailing by 14. Mark Bradley makes the catch close to first down territory.
Needs to cover that ball up. Be careful. Right now, Southern is riding high.
Now, if he got the first down, they'll stop the clock, as they do in college, to reset the sticks.
And those are the kinds of balls I was talking about earlier, where the receiver is coming back to the quarterback. He can see his numbers and start completing passes.
Here's Powell. Got to get under that center. Got to call a play. Got to get it going.
Sense of urgency. They need a sense of urgency.
Here's Powell, and it was almost intercepted.
2 wide receivers in the same area. Both of them hesitant, and the DB is making a break on the ball.
Neither one of them looked like they were the designated receiver. At least didn't act like it. Didn't make a play for the ball, and Williams almost comes up with a pick.
We talked about Southern's schedule. How about Arkansas Pine-Bluff with Alcorn State next, Kentucky State? This is not going to be an easy game. Texas Southern, Grambling, Alabama State, Jackson State. Oh, that stretch right there is going to be difficult. Then they'll close out the season.
And Lane College.
They got Lane. And this time, ball is caught for Arkansas Pine-Bluff by Pilcher. Pilcher close to midfield with that catch.
It's going to be padding the stats time for Southern in about 2 minutes.
Well, this will be essentially padding the stats for Pine-Bluff because they're not going to get enough.
Here's Powell again. Back to throw. Complete to Bradley. Bradley pitches it to Pilcher. Heads up play. A flag was thrown. They're probably going to say it was forward.
The close call, but the official who threw the flag was right there on the spot. He had a pretty good look at it.
Flag is lying down at about the 38-yard line where the pitch was made.
Yeah, the line judge was right there, and he had an excellent look at it.
But we have seen Bradley make some heads-up plays all night long. This is just another one. He had that fumble where he picked up, and how about this?
You can't blame him for trying to make this play, but tough to tell from that angle.
It don't look like it was a forward pitch to me.
And there's the line judge throwing the flag. He was right there.
Legal forward pass. On the offense, 5 yards from the spot of the pass. Replay from first down.
Well, they still get the positive yards from the play. They just lose 5. But with that having been said, now that makes it, they're calling it first down and 2.
Right.
Wouldn't they lose a down in this instance if they still got the yards?
That is, you're right.
Here's Ron Johnson giving a good block for Powell, who holds on to the football and gets out of bounds.
He lowers his shoulder there.
Inside the 40.
He lowers his shoulder.
Want to wish congratulations to Venus Williams, who defeats her sister Serena at the U.S. Open. That's the 2nd straight year now that Venus Williams is your champion at the U.S. Open.
Is that the short
one? And the
one?
3rd straight year Williams has won it because 2 years ago Serena won.
Is that the short one?
No, that's not the short one.
Oh, I want the short one.
You want the short one?
Yeah, she's cuter.
See, Venus is listening right now.
Well, that's her problem.
Right, 1st and 10 for Powell. Trying to move this football downfield. And in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Bradley. And that's one he just couldn't hold on to. And Woods, defensively, they're the sophomore. Romulus.
When this game started and Southern jumped up 21-0, you knew right then that Arkansas Pine-Bluff had to answer, because as the game went on, they didn't build up any momentum running. You know, they got to just sling it all over the place now.
3:25 left here in this football game. Clock is still rolling. And Powell completes this pass as one would assume that the defense is getting a little soft. Let's take a look at our remaining schedule here on BET. As we talked about earlier, the Southern Heritage Classic. Next week, Tennessee State and Jackson State. Then we take a little rest and come back in October and do this all over again. Circle City Classic, Tennessee State, and the Howard University Bison, coached by Steve Wilson, former teammate of Nate Newton. Anyway, Alabama State takes on Alabama A&M, and that's in Birmingham. That's always one of the best. And we'll close things out with the SWAC Championship. Not to forget that Alcorn State and Jackson State also going to be on our air. So we got a good schedule this year.
Got a super schedule. We, you know, your old alma mater, Howard.
Looking forward to it.
Don't lose.
Why?
Because I will own you.
That's right. You haven't forgotten last year when Florida A&M and Grambling went at it in the Circle City Classic. Here's Powell. Powell's pass almost intercepted. Looked like miscommunication again between he and his receiver.
Well, that's what you're going to get when you're not used to throwing the football and you get into a situation where you have to throw the football. And this is exactly what we expected Pine-Bluff to do coming out in the second half, and that's open up their offense and start throwing the football down the field. Instead, they started out that way, then they got a little conservative.
Look at the mud on the quarterback.
That one is short hop. It's not going to be a reception. That was Tavoris Haynes out there. Couldn't quite catch it before it touched the turf. So that'll make it 3rd and 10.
They have to make a big play. They have to move with some urgency. Everybody's lethargic, moving around, just taking the time, center, breaking the huddle, walking up. It's like, oh, well, let's just go up in and make a play. But somebody's got to come up big. Somebody's got to get some life in them, a sense of urgency.
So here's Powell on 3rd down. See, oh, Chapman had a chance at him. And the Jaguars still get hold of him.
Chapman is the man.
And he had a chance, but it was Kentrell Blatcher who closed the deal and gets credit for the sack.
Chapman comes up, make him pull it back down.
And Blatcher picks up the sack.
Picks up the sack.
We're talking so much about the wide receivers, and we even started the show talking about Michael Landry, but Chapman really has emerged in this ball game as the type of guy you expect to see move on to the next level.
And Terrence Graves, the linebacker coach, spoke highly of all of his linebackers, but he said this guy was nice, but I didn't know he was going to play all out like this.
Clock continues to roll as we approach a minute and a half. Watch out, Mr. Powell. Here comes Chapman. And again, it slips out of his hands. And you've got to keep on playing that because that might be a fumble. Picked up by Williams. Williams going down the sideline. And we talked about it before. You've got to stay alert. And Williams picks it up. Powell did it before. The ball slipped out of his hands. He walked away from it. This time, it burns him.
You know, when you talk about being a well-conditioned team, part of being well-conditioned is being alert for the entire game. And this play, like you said, Powell just keeps going. Chapman doesn't even pay attention. Only one guy pays attention, and that's Williams, and that's why he scores this touchdown.
And the ball, and his hand was going up. He wasn't going forward when his ball slipped out of his hand. So he should have knew that his hand was going up when it slipped out.
Jakari Williams, the senior from California, picks up the fumble. Races down the sidelines for the touchdown. Villagrano's kick is good. 68-yard fumble return for a touchdown for Jakari Williams.
There's two options here that Arkansas Pine-Bluff can do at this point. Here looking at it again. See, right here, his hand is going up, not forward. Right. So that is a fumble. The ref is all over that, made the proper call. The young guy picks it up, takes it all away. The big lineman just hang it up, bro.
And Jakari, you got to feel happy for a guy who last year, first day of practice, blows out his knee, He was waiting 2 years to start at cornerback, comes back this year. They tell him as a cornerback, we're going to move you to safety.
Right.
He doesn't complain. He does what the coaches say. You love it when a young man who waits his time, goes through the adversity, and comes up with a big play like that.
He's a football player, but as I was saying earlier, there's two things Arkansas Pine-Bluff can do at this point. They can either come up and throw the football every time for touchdowns, or they can start working on next week's game plan. Those are the only two options I see.
Well, that's what they should have been doing at the beginning of this half, and start throwing the ball and trying to get back into this ball game.
So you had them working out for Alcorn State already.
If they don't put the ball up and make some big plays here, I mean, you're down by a lot of points, and they got to come up. And the only way they can do that now is throw every down.
You wonder if the officials don't remember the first time that Powell let that ball slip and not going for it, and they let him get away with it by calling it an incomplete pass. And the second time it happened, they were like, no way, we're not going to let you get away with it.
I agree. That first play was very close, and there's no question that the officials let this thing go.
But the second one, his hand was coming up and it slipped out. He just took his hand forward because he was upset. But hey, it cost him then. I'm quite sure Coach Hardman is talking to him like, hey, son, stay up on top of the ball.
Well, if you look back at the play from the end zone, when that runner started going back the other way, an assistant coach jumped on the field and pushed Powell and said, get off your tail and go catch him.
Right.
So he will hear about that one all week long. Minute 18 left in this football game, and it's all Southern. And with the victory, the Jaguars are now going to go to 1-1 on the season, 1-0 in conference play, while the Golden Lions will drop to 500 at 1-1, and this one almost intercepted again.
It's time to get the stats jacked.
That could have gone the other way.
Woods was in position.
Oh, he had 6.
You got to credit Southern with their ability to use so many different players. I mean, this kid Woods, we didn't even see him in the first half, but he's made some big plays here in the second half.
And they've been doing it all game long. You saw a lot of people coming in and out of this ball game, a lot of numbers that we didn't think we'd see. They're showing their depth, and they're also showing that they have the smarts to use these guys the entire game.
Like Cliff Lewis and Terrence Graves, the co-defensive coordinators, put together a good scheme. They stopped Thunder and Lightning early, and then they just took over the game. And Chapman just having a super game.
Here's Powell. Powell still being pressured.
Alex
and
Coleman.
Another fumble. And the big guy spreading the wings and flying.
Alex Coleman.
Just when you start talking about depth, here's a name we haven't called all night. Alex Coleman comes up with a big sack and forces the fumble.
But we know he's playing because he got a lot of mud on his uniform. They all got some mud on their uniform.
Hey, listen, at this point in the ball game, if you don't have mud, if you haven't been in the ball game, slide on the sideline.
Just fall down, just trip.
Don't come off this field with a nice, pretty yellow uniform on. Don't come off the field like that.
So look at Thunder and Lightning. Just 40 yards rushing. Dwight McKissick, who ran for over 1,200 yards last year, and Ron Johnson, who gained over 1,000 himself. And that Southern Jaguar defense just put the clamps on them.
With movement, they made these big guys have to move their feet. They stunted, they blitzed, they ran line games. So they used their speed to their advantage.
Powell again let the ball slip in his hands, but he was able to control it and get the pass off.
That time he pulled the ball down, it was about to slip out of his hands. He's getting smarter now. He knows that ball's about to slip out of his hands. He's going to hold on to it just a little bit longer.
Big Alex Coleman on the sideline chilling, talking to his partner. Everything all right, looking up in the stands. You know, it get like this late in the game. You go to looking up in the stands, see who's looking at you.
It's hard to look smooth on that mud on yourself.
Under a minute to play. Second down for an Arkansas Pine-Bluff club that has not been able to do this at all. This time they handed off to the deep back. Looked like it was Ron Johnson.
See, like I told you earlier, there's two things you can start doing. You can either start throwing it long or get ready for next week. Like they have already said, let's get ready for next week.
Check that. That was Dwight McKissick with the carry. As you get a look at Lee Hardman, who's got to be saying to himself, what happened this week? I mean, he had A lot of experience coming back on this football team, and he figured that this club was going to be contending for the title, and I don't think he thought that Pete would have the kind of offense with his top 2 receivers gone to knock off his club. But the Jaguars jump on him real quickly. So our final score, Southern wins this one 35-14. Keep in mind that our next game here on BET is next week. Jackson State taking on Tennessee State. Time for us to leave, and we will join Comic View in progress from Southern University here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Once again, Southern wins 35-14. For my broadcast partner, Don McPherson, Nate Newton, and the rest of our BET crew, good job, fellas. We'll see you guys next week.
Recent all-conference performer, Bryce Smith, and Jermaine Beal, also a good one. And then in the backfield, Giddings, Sefiola, Stevens, and Eric Joyce. We've already seen him in on the action as well. 3rd down and 18 from the 21. Rattlers with the ball. Gray looking, throwing, complete. That's Isaac Brown, and he is decked. As soon as he gets it, Deion Giddings there, the sophomore out of Nashville, with the stop.
And the key to this game, obviously, is Coach James Reese has decided he wants to put pressure on Quinn Gray and that Rattler offense. And the reason you can get so much pressure is because you have short corners. They run a semblance of the running shoot, that being the Rattlers, where you have just 5 linemen out there, so you have short corners. And Coach Reese is saying, turn up the heat, let's blitz, blitz, blitz.
Going to have to try a field goal now. Juan Vasquez is on for a field goal. Going to be a 37-yard attempt. They got a whistle here.
Prior to the snap, ball start.